according to a picture going around online this month. It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events. It shows Donald Trump touching a glowing orb with two Middle Eastern-looking men. Well, last month, President Trump did just that with the King of Saudi Arabia and the President of Egypt. So, did The Simpsons really predict the future?
Once again, we find ourselves diving into the uncanny world of The Simpsons and their seemingly supernatural ability to predict the future. It's become a running joke at this point. Year after year, fans spot eerie parallels between the show's episodes and real-world events. But here we are in 2025, and the predictions keep coming. Could this just be a series of wild coincidences, or is there something more mysterious at play? In today's video, we'll take a closer look at some of The Simpsons' most chilling and striking predictions for this year. Buckle up, because this one's going to blow your mind.
Welcome to Fox News, your voice for evil. Tonight, we'll be interviewing the top two candidates for Springfield's 24th Congressional District.
The Los Angeles fires and the blue umbrella phenomenon. Photos from the devastating Los Angeles wildfires showed a peculiar pattern that sparked a wave of speculation. Amidst the destruction of homes, trees, and landscapes reduced to ash, objects that were blue, such as umbrellas, cars, and garden furniture, remained mysteriously untouched. This peculiar phenomenon led some to connect it to an old episode of The Simpsons, where Springfield burns to the ground, leaving a solitary blue umbrella intact. While the connection seemed tenuous at first, it gained momentum with online theories linking the phenomenon to advanced technology. Some suggest that directed energy weapons, DEWs, could be responsible for these anomalies. These theories claim that such weapons are capable of targeting specific areas with precision, and for reasons unknown, objects with blue hues appear immune to their effects. While this hypothesis is far from proven, the curiosity surrounding it has drawn attention to the possibility of advanced technologies operating beyond public knowledge. But let's pause for a moment and critically analyze this. Could a decades-old cartoon have predicted the testing of futuristic military technology in Los Angeles? The leap is significant, but not impossible to consider within the context of symbolic storytelling. The Simpsons has always been adept at capturing the zeitgeist and amplifying societal fears and anxieties. Wildfires, for instance, have long been a looming threat in California. The idea of a blue umbrella standing amidst the ashes may serve as a metaphor for resilience rather than a literal prediction of laser technology. The glowing orb and global politics. One of the most striking coincidences attributed to The Simpsons involves a glowing orb and global politics. In a 2002 episode, the show depicted Donald Trump alongside Middle Eastern leaders standing around a glowing orb in a surreal, ritualistic manner. At the time, it seemed like pure satire, an absurd image crafted for comedic effect. However, in 2017, life appeared to imitate art. During a diplomatic visit to Saudi Arabia, Donald Trump, the King of Saudi Arabia and the President of Egypt, posed with their hands on a glowing orb to mark the opening of a counter-terrorism center. The real-life scene was almost identical to the cartoon. This moment left many questioning whether the show's writers possessed insider knowledge or were privy to behind-the-scenes political maneuvering. A more grounded explanation might be that The Simpsons is simply skilled at recognizing and satirizing patterns of power. Grand symbolic photo ops have always been a staple of global politics, designed to showcase alliances and strength. The glowing orb, while unusual, fits within the tradition of dramatic political imagery. What made this prediction feel uncanny was its absurdity and the precision with which the cartoon mirrored reality. Perhaps the real takeaway here is the theatrical nature of politics itself. The Simpsons has long excelled at peeling back the layers of pomp and ceremony to reveal the underlying performative aspects of governance. Flying cars, science fiction, meets reality. Imagine leaving your driveway in a vehicle that doesn't just take you down the road, but soars into the sky. For decades, flying cars have been a staple of science fiction, promising to eliminate traffic jams and redefine how we travel. Today, that vision is closer than ever to becoming reality. One of the most promising developments in this space comes from Samsung Sky, a company that has spent over 14 years perfecting a vehicle called the Switchblade. Unlike the hover cars depicted in futuristic films, the Switchblade is a sleek, three-wheeled sports car that transforms into an aircraft with the push of a button. This hybrid vehicle is expected to hit the market by 2026. It is street legal and designed for dual functionality. You can drive it like a regular car to your local airport, where it unfolds its wings and takes to the skies. The Switchblade's specifications are impressive. It can reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour and soar at altitudes of 13,000 feet. However, operating such a vehicle isn't as simple as grabbing your keys and hitting the road. A pilot's license will be required, adding a new layer of complexity to what we traditionally think of as driver's education. Flying cars could revolutionize travel, especially for those seeking to avoid traffic congestion. Yet, the concept isn't purely practical. It holds cultural significance as well. Pop culture has long been fascinated with flying cars, from sci-fi films to cartoons like The Simpsons. In a 2005 episode titled Future Drama, Homer and Bart zip around in a hover car, mocking the idea of ever sitting in traffic again. While today's prototypes are more grounded in reality, they still evoke the dream of a future where the sky is no longer the limit. Despite these advancements, hurdles remain. Safety regulations, infrastructure, and public acceptance will play critical roles in determining how soon flying cars become mainstream. Integrating this vision into everyday life is a challenge, but one that humanity seems eager to tackle. The horse meat scandal, a dark prediction. One of the darker predictions from The Simpsons involved the horse meat scandal. In an early episode, a lunch lady is seen cutting up horse meat and serving it to school children. While this was played for laughs, it struck an unsettling chord years later when a major food scandal erupted in Europe. In 2013, beef products, including burgers and frozen meals, were found to be contaminated with horse meat. The scandal implicated major brands and supermarkets, shaking public trust in the food industry. This prediction, like many others, highlights how The Simpsons taps into underlying societal fears. Food safety has always been a critical issue, and the show's satirical approach brought attention to concerns that often go unnoticed until a crisis emerges. While it's unlikely that the writers foresaw the exact events of 2013, their narrative resonated with the vulnerabilities of modern food production. Throughout its many seasons, The Simpsons has developed an uncanny reputation for seemingly predicting real-world events. While some of these instances may appear to be nothing more than bizarre coincidences, others resonate deeply, striking at societal anxieties and exposing deeper truths about human nature and culture. Let's delve into a few notable examples of these so-called predictions, examining their broader implications and their connection to timeless themes, including deception, hubris, and the rapid pace of technological change. The Titan submarine tragedy, hubris and its consequences. On June 18, 2023, a tragic incident unfolded in the North Atlantic Ocean. The Titan, a submersible operated by OceanGate Expeditions, disappeared during a tourist exploration of the Titanic wreckage. The submersible carried 5 individuals and lost contact just 1 hour and 45 minutes into its dive. After an exhaustive search lasting nearly 80 hours, a remotely operated underwater vehicle, ROV, discovered debris from the vessel, approximately 1,500 feet off the Titanic's bow. This tragedy captured global attention, stirring a mix of grief and reflection. In an eerie twist, a 2006 episode of The Simpsons depicted Homer and Mr. Burns embarking on a deep-sea expedition in a submarine. The vessel faced oxygen depletion, a detail that eerily mirrored the real-life Titan tragedy. At first glance, this might seem like an uncanny coincidence. But when viewed through a broader lens, it reveals a recurring human pattern: hubris. The Titan tragedy serves as a modern parallel to the biblical story of the Tower of Babel. In Genesis 11, humanity's attempt to build a tower reaching the heavens is thwarted by God, leading to confusion and division. The tale is a cautionary reminder of the dangers of overreaching ambition and defying natural limits. Similarly, the Titan incident underscores humanity's relentless desire to conquer the unknown, be it the depths of the ocean or the far reaches of space. While exploration is a testament to human ingenuity, it also carries inherent risks, often reminding us of our vulnerability. Perhaps the lesson here isn't about predicting specific events, but rather about acknowledging timeless truths. Nature and mortality don't abide by human rules, and when we push boundaries without adequate caution or respect, the consequences can be devastating. The Simpsons episode, in this light, serves less as a prediction and more as a reflection of this enduring human narrative. The rise of AI and automation, a new frontier. In another striking episode, The Simpsons explored the theme of automation and its impact on the workforce. Homer finds himself in a world where robots are gradually replacing human workers. His boss tasks him and his colleagues with training machines to perform the very tasks they've been doing for years. What begins as a satirical look at workplace dynamics now feels uncomfortably close to reality. Today, the rise of AI and automation is no longer the realm of science fiction. From self-checkout machines in stores to AI assistants like Siri and Alexa, automation has become an integral part of daily life. Robots developed by companies like Boston Dynamics are not only capable of handling warehouse tasks, but can also perform complex actions like parkour and dance routines. Meanwhile, AI tools from tech giants like Google and Microsoft can write articles, code software, and even pass challenging medical exams. This shift has profound implications for the global workforce. Jobs once considered secure are now at risk of being automated. Industries are rapidly rethinking their workforce needs, focusing on efficiency and cost reduction. While governments and organizations invest in retraining programs to help displaced workers adapt, ethical debates are intensifying. Machines may excel at speed and precision, but they lack uniquely human qualities like intuition, creativity, and emotional intelligence. The episode's satirical tone underscores a larger point: the tension between technological progress and its social consequences. Much like Homer's reluctant acceptance of automation, humanity is grappling with the realities of a rapidly changing workplace. The question isn't whether automation will take over, but when and how society will adapt. Once again, The Simpsons didn't predict the future so much as spotlight an ongoing transformation, forcing us to confront its implications. The Rapture and Apocalypse, a satirical take on existential themes. In a 2005 episode titled, "Thank God It's Doomsday," The Simpsons tackled the heavy topic of the rapture. After watching a parody of the Left Behind series, Homer becomes convinced that the end of the world is near. The episode features people vanishing in flashes of light, babies disappearing after baptism, and chaos erupting as the world descends into apocalyptic turmoil. While presented in the show's characteristic comedic style, the episode taps into deeply held beliefs and anxieties about the end times. The concept of the rapture has long fascinated and unsettled people, particularly within Christian eschatology. It's a moment of divine judgment, where believers are taken up to heaven, leaving the unfaithful behind. This theme resonates because it underscores humanity's vulnerability and the fleeting nature of life. The Simpsons' depiction, while exaggerated, mirrors the real-world preoccupation with existential questions and the moral dilemmas they pose. The episode also serves as a reminder of the human tendency to interpret events through the lens of prophecy and divine intervention. Whether it's natural disasters, technological advancements, or social upheaval, there's a persistent need to find meaning and order in chaos. The Simpsons cleverly plays on this impulse, blending satire with a subtle critique of how society grapples with uncertainty and fear. The concept of the rapture is a striking depiction of biblical prophecy that has fascinated and terrified people for generations. This profound event, described in several biblical passages, resonates deeply, even with those who do not consider themselves religious. Central to the discussion of the rapture is the passage from 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17, which declares, "For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air." This vivid imagery of people suddenly vanishing has sparked both curiosity and fear, raising the question, why does this idea resonate so deeply with humanity, including those outside of religious circles? The fear of the rapture is not merely about the unknown, it's about judgment. For many, this concept transcends fiction. They believe the signs of the end times, as foretold in biblical prophecy, are manifesting in current events. Consider the drying up of the Euphrates River, a phenomenon explicitly mentioned in Revelation 16:12 as a precursor to the end times. In modern times, this prophecy seems to be unfolding as the river's diminishing waters alarm scientists and stir religious fears. Similarly, the rise in wars, as mentioned in Matthew 24:6, and other global upheavals further add to the collective unease. What makes these events particularly unsettling is the Bible's warning that the rapture will happen without any prior announcement. As 1 Thessalonians 5:2 states, "The Lord will come like a thief in the night." This suddenness is a key factor that amplifies the anxiety surrounding the rapture. One cultural depiction of this fear can be found in an episode of The Simpsons, where Homer becomes obsessed with predicting the exact date of the rapture. He meticulously studies the Bible, calculates potential dates, and attempts to warn his family and neighbors. Yet his warnings are dismissed as paranoid ramblings. This portrayal mirrors a real and relatable human behavior, our desire for control when faced with uncertainty. People naturally seek to understand, predict, and prepare for events that feel beyond their grasp. However, the Bible explicitly warns that no one can predict the timing of the rapture. Matthew 24:36 says, "But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." Despite this clear admonition, humans persist in trying to predict it. This persistence reveals a deeper fear, the fear of being unprepared, of facing judgment, and of being left behind. The consequences of being left behind after the rapture are dire, according to biblical prophecy. Those not taken will endure the tribulation, a period marked by global chaos, natural disasters, wars, and suffering. Families will be torn apart, with loved ones disappearing without explanation. This fear of abandonment and chaos is vividly illustrated in cultural narratives like The Simpsons.
Simpsons predicted the future shot by shot because we're part of the Illuminati, which is true, we are.
Remember those lighthearted days? Remember that was just funny? Remember there was nothing else?
Donald Trump will be the 47th President of the United States of America.
For over 30 years, The Simpsons has been more than just a hilarious cartoon. It's been eerily spot on at predicting real-world events. From mind control through music to nuclear disasters, the show has consistently mirrored the unexpected twists of our reality. And now, with 2025 fast approaching, the internet is buzzing with questions. Did The Simpsons foresee the COVID-19 outbreak? Could their wild scenarios hint at what's coming next? In today's video, we're diving deep into the uncanny predictions of The Simpsons, exploring what they might have gotten right about the future. Is World War III on the horizon? What crazy scenarios could 2025 have in store? Let's uncover the truth behind these viral claims.
Strange as it seems that they keep predicting the future, I'm not so sure whether you should be going back to your old VHSs of early Simpsons to get your lottery ticket.
Well, at least I liked it.
I have come back in time to reveal the events of the future, so that you can amaze the world with your uncannily accurate predictions.
The Simpsons, a long-running animated series celebrated for its humorous and satirical take on contemporary culture, has an uncanny knack for predicting future events. This phenomenon has captivated fans and skeptics alike, particularly when the show's speculative humor aligns with real-world developments. Among the most intriguing of these predictions are those involving technology, sports, space exploration, and even the potential for apocalyptic scenarios. As we look toward 2025, let's delve into some of these eerie coincidences and consider what they might reveal about our rapidly changing world. AI and the automation of jobs. In the Treehouse of Horror 14th episode, Homer Simpson finds himself out of work after failing an alcohol test administered by a robot. This humorous scenario hints at a future where automation and AI could dominate the workforce. Fast forward to today, and AI's integration into various industries is no longer a distant possibility, but an active reality. By 2025, experts predict that robots and AI systems will do much more than assist humans. They could take over entire roles. The episode's foresight becomes particularly poignant as we witness AI increasingly capable of conversational interactions, decision-making, and even training other AI systems, much like Homer and his friends training robots in another episode. While these advancements are thrilling, they also come with real warnings about AI potentially turning against its creators, reminiscent of the 1994 Itchy and Scratchy Land episode where robots go rogue. With AI developing at an unprecedented pace, humanity must remain vigilant about the ethical implications and safety concerns surrounding these technologies.
In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into another alleged prediction by The Simpsons. A video that has gone viral on social media claims The Simpsons predicted the newly released Apple Vision Pro.
Virtual reality and Apple Vision Pro. In a 2016 episode titled Friends and Family, The Simpsons portrayed Springfield residents using virtual reality headsets to escape into immersive experiences. Characters were shown traveling, completing tasks, and enjoying leisure activities without lifting a finger, a concept that once seemed far-fetched. However, with the release of devices like Apple Vision Pro, this vision of the future is rapidly materializing. Apple's groundbreaking technology allows users to interact with a virtual world using only their eyes and hands. The Simpsons' prediction takes a satirical turn as characters become so engrossed in their virtual lives that they neglect the real world, a cautionary tale that resonates today. By 2025, as devices like Vision Pro gain traction, the blending of virtual and real-life experiences could reshape our daily lives in ways we're only beginning to comprehend. FIFA corruption scandal in You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee, Season 25, Episode 16, The Simpsons tackled the topic of corruption in international soccer. The storyline featured soccer officials arrested for bribery, a plotline that mirrored real-life events when FIFA executives were exposed for corruption shortly after the episode aired in 2014. The writers even included a fictional Brazil-Germany matchup, eerily similar to the historic 7-1 defeat Brazil suffered in the 2014 World Cup semifinals. With FIFA continuously embroiled in controversies over transparency and ethics, it's not unthinkable that the show's predictions could extend further into the future. As global discussions about integrity in sports continue, The Simpsons' foresight remains both relevant and unsettling. Black holes and space exploration. Space exploration has always been a source of fascination, and India's recent advancements in this field have opened new doors to understanding cosmic phenomena like black holes. Yet, The Simpsons ventured into this territory as early as 2013 in the Treehouse of Horror 23 episode. This segment depicted a small black hole appearing in Springfield, growing as it consumed objects and eventually transporting everything into another dimension. While this scenario is far from scientifically accurate, it raises intriguing questions about the nature of black holes. Could they serve as gateways to other realms? With rapid progress in space technology, who knows what secrets might be unlocked by 2025? The potential for groundbreaking discoveries is as thrilling as it is daunting. Holographic technology. Bart to the Future, an episode famous for its glimpse into a fantastical future, introduced holograms as a primary mode of communication. From holographic letters to interactive displays, the episode's imaginative portrayal of technology now feels increasingly plausible. High-definition holograms are already making appearances in retail settings like Best Buy, and their potential applications are vast. Could holograms replace traditional smartphones by 2025? While such a leap might still be years away, the possibility of holographic communication becoming mainstream is no longer science fiction. This playful prediction reminds us that technological innovation often starts with a spark of imagination. Zombie apocalypse and food safety. The Treehouse of Horror 20 episode presented a hilariously grotesque scenario where a burger made from cannibalistic cows triggers a zombie-like outbreak in Springfield. While the idea of a zombie apocalypse is purely fictional, the underlying warning about food safety and pathogens is disturbingly relevant. Foodborne illnesses and contamination can cause widespread panic and serious health crises. This humorous yet chilling episode underscores the importance of robust food safety measures to prevent real-world disasters that could spiral out of control. Nuclear Armageddon. Another spine-tingling prediction from The Simpsons involves the threat of nuclear Armageddon. While the specifics of such an event remain speculative, the show's recurring nods to nuclear disasters serve as a stark reminder of the catastrophic potential of modern weaponry. With ongoing geopolitical tensions and the ever-present risk of nuclear escalation, the possibility of such an event, though remote, cannot be entirely dismissed. The Simpsons' satirical take on this subject urges viewers to consider the profound consequences of unchecked aggression and technological misuse. The Simpsons, a long-standing cultural phenomenon, has often been celebrated for its uncanny ability to foresee future events. Some of these predictions feel eerily plausible in today's world, stirring both curiosity and unease. Let's delve into several notable instances where the show has seemingly peered into the future. Nuclear disaster and rising tensions. In one unsettling episode, Homer becomes the sole survivor of a nuclear catastrophe, a scenario that resonates deeply with modern concerns. Another plotline explores a secret organization orchestrating a nuclear explosion. These themes feel unnervingly close to reality as the world grapples with rising nuclear tensions. For instance, escalating military threats, such as those from Russia, mirror the foreboding atmosphere depicted in the show. Moreover, contemporary scientists warn of threats like cyber attacks targeting nuclear facilities and solar storms capable of disrupting critical infrastructure. While these scenarios remain speculative, they underscore the importance of vigilance as humanity confronts complex technological and geopolitical challenges. Economic collapse in 2025. The Simpsons also delves into economic instability, painting a vivid picture of financial chaos in 2025. In the Treehouse of Horror 99 episode, economic fallout begins when Homer loses his job at the nuclear plant, triggering societal collapse. This dire forecast is echoed in another storyline, where Lisa, as president, inherits a severe budget crisis. Her lament about inheriting quite a budget crunch from President Trump aligns uncannily with real-world economic struggles. Could 2025 witness a similar convergence of financial disasters and political upheavals? If history repeats itself, we might face a roller coaster of economic challenges, reshaping global systems and power dynamics. Colonization of Mars. One of the most thrilling predictions from The Simpsons involves the colonization of Mars. In a standout episode, Lisa and Marge embark on a mission to establish a habitat on the Red Planet. Initially hesitant, Marge joins the family on this spacefaring adventure. Although the mission faces setbacks, Lisa and Marge ultimately reach Mars by 2051. Interestingly, Lisa's ambitions extend further when she opts to colonize Venus instead. While this narrative might seem far-fetched, it parallels Elon Musk's real-life aspirations for Mars. Through his SpaceX program, Musk envisions a future where humanity thrives on the Red Planet. Thousands have already expressed interest in joining this groundbreaking mission, suggesting that The Simpsons' depiction of interplanetary life could become a reality. Hovercars and futuristic transportation. Hovercars, a recurring theme in The Simpsons, have intrigued viewers for decades. In a 2005 episode, Bart and Lisa glimpse a future where hovercars are commonplace. Another earlier episode, Itchy and Scratchy Land, 1992, shows Homer and Bart walking past a hovercar en route to the cinema. These portrayals envision a world where futuristic vehicles revolutionize transportation. While hovercars remain in the realm of science fiction, advancements in technology and electric vehicles, spearheaded by innovators like Elon Musk, hint that such dreams may not be too distant. Could hovercars dominate our roads by 2025? The possibilities, though speculative, are tantalizing. Autonomous vehicles. The Simpsons also explores the potential pitfalls of autonomous vehicles. In Baby You Can't Drive My Car, Homer and Marge's experience with a self-driving car goes hilariously awry when Homer struggles with basic controls. The vehicle's inability to accommodate human needs, like bathroom breaks, adds a humorous yet unsettling dimension. Today, companies like Tesla are pioneering self-driving technology, bringing us closer to fully autonomous transportation. However, challenges persist, from safety concerns to legal frameworks. The Simpsons' prediction of accidents caused by malfunctioning tech or distracted pedestrians highlights the need for robust solutions before autonomous vehicles become mainstream. By 2025, we may see these issues resolved, paving the way for safer, smarter roads. Curling gold medalists. In 2010, The Simpsons aired an episode where Homer, Marge, and the Skinners form a curling team representing the United States at the Winter Olympics. Against all odds, they triumph over Sweden to win the gold medal. This whimsical storyline turned prophetic in 2018 when the U.S. men's curling team, led by John Schuster, clinched their first-ever Olympic gold, defeating Sweden in a dramatic final. The uncanny accuracy of this prediction captivated audiences, as the U.S. team's victory became one of the most memorable moments of the 2018 Winter Olympics. The episode's foresight underscores The Simpsons' knack for blending humor with eerily prescient scenarios. Virtual dining and futuristic lifestyles. The Simpsons has frequently ventured into the realm of futuristic lifestyles, including virtual dining experiences. In one episode, the show explores a world where technology transforms everyday activities. Virtual dining, while still emerging, reflects broader trends in how technology reshapes human interaction. With advancements in augmented reality and digital platforms, the concept of dining in a fully virtual environment is becoming increasingly plausible. As society embraces innovations that blur the lines between physical and digital realms, The Simpsons' imaginative scenarios continue to inspire speculation about what lies ahead. The Simpsons has long been celebrated for its uncanny ability to predict the future, from technological advancements to societal shifts. Whether through humor or satire, the show often highlights potential implications of emerging trends. Let's delve into some of their memorable predictions and examine how these fictional scenarios are aligning with our reality. Environmental catastrophes. Who could forget the Simpsons movie from 2007? In it, Homer's careless disposal of pig waste triggers an environmental crisis, forcing the government to quarantine Springfield under a massive dome. While exaggerated, the premise eerily mirrors current environmental challenges. Fast forward to today, and rising sea levels, wildfires, and extreme weather events serve as glaring reminders of the consequences of climate change. Cities like Miami and New York are bracing for flooding, while California faces relentless wildfires. Predictions for 2025 suggest these issues may intensify unless we take drastic action. While a giant dome trapping an entire city might seem far-fetched, the underlying message is clear. Unchecked environmental damage can lead to catastrophic consequences. As global leaders and communities grapple with these challenges, The Simpsons provides a satirical yet sobering lens through which to view our environmental responsibilities. Solar-powered cars. In the episode Paths of Glory, Lisa Simpson builds a solar-powered car for an alternative energy derby. Her hopes are dashed when a Duff beer blimp blocks the sun, stopping her vehicle just before the finish line. This humorous setback reflects the very real obstacles facing renewable energy initiatives. By 2025, solar-powered cars might become a viable alternative to traditional vehicles. Companies like Tesla and Lightyear are leading the charge, developing vehicles powered by the sun. These innovations promise to reduce fuel costs and carbon footprints. However, the journey toward widespread adoption of solar cars is far from smooth. Powerful interests in the fossil fuel industry, akin to the metaphorical blimp in Lisa's race, could hinder progress. Despite these challenges, solar-powered vehicles are inching closer to reality, offering a glimpse into a cleaner, more sustainable future. Baby translators. In another imaginative episode, Martin Prince invents a baby translator that decodes infant babble into coherent English. Initially dismissed as a joke, the device surprises everyone when it works, revealing baby Maggie's desires for attention and entertainment. While the idea seemed far-fetched at the time, the concept of understanding an infant's needs through technology is gaining traction. Advances in AI and wearable technology could pave the way for devices that analyze a baby's cries and gestures, helping parents decode their child's emotions and needs with greater accuracy. Although we're not quite there yet, such innovations could revolutionize parenting, reducing guesswork and deepening the bond between parents and their babies. The Apocalypse and Homer's Revelation. In a particularly apocalyptic episode, Homer predicts the end of the world based on a passage from Revelation 6:13. As stars fall to earth, Homer warns his friends and family of impending doom. When the anticipated day arrives, nothing dramatic happens, except that Homer finds himself unexpectedly in heaven. The episode's twist adds a humorous layer to the classic doomsday narrative, while subtly reminding viewers that life is unpredictable. This storyline reflects humanity's enduring fascination with apocalyptic scenarios, whether drawn from religious texts or science fiction. While The Simpsons uses humor to explore the topic, it also underscores the importance of living with purpose and preparing for the unexpected. Personalized medicine. In Homer the Heretic, Homer visits a futuristic medical office equipped with advanced technology capable of diagnosing his health issues in an instant. This comedic take on medical advancements foreshadows the rise of personalized medicine. By 2025, breakthroughs in CRISPR gene editing and tailored treatments could revolutionize healthcare. Imagine visiting a doctor who not only understands your unique genetic makeup, but also offers treatments specifically designed for you. The implications are profound. Personalized medicine could lead to more effective treatments, reduced side effects, and improved outcomes. However, these advancements also raise ethical questions about accessibility and the potential misuse of genetic information. 3. Deprinted food. In the episode The Food Wife, the Simpson family encounters a futuristic concept: 3D printed food. Using a machine that builds meals layer by layer, they enjoy dishes that resemble creations from a miniature food factory. What once seemed like science fiction is now a burgeoning reality. 3D printed food technology is advancing rapidly, with applications ranging from creating customized meals to addressing food shortages. The potential benefits are immense. 3D printed food could revolutionize the culinary world, offering new possibilities for creativity and sustainability. However, challenges remain, including cost, scalability, and public acceptance. As the technology matures, it may transform the way we think about food production and consumption.
We are looking into yet another claim about The Simpsons predicting a big news event.
We're looking into a picture going around online this month. It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events.
The Simpsons did it first. This phrase has become a cultural mantra as the iconic animated series continues to eerily predict real-world events. Known for its sharp satire, The Simpsons has an uncanny track record of turning its fictional scenarios into reality. From the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant to the shockwaves of Donald Trump's presidency, the show's writers have created moments that later mirror real-life events in chilling detail. Some attribute these predictions to pure coincidence, arguing that history often repeats itself. Yet, for many fans, the show's eerie foresight sparks a mix of fascination and unease, especially when considering the unsettling predictions that have yet to come true. Today, we'll dive into The Simpsons' intriguing forecasts for 2025 and explore how they align with the visions of modern prophets like Nostradamus and Baba Vanga. Brace yourself as we unravel these uncanny connections. You might just feel the chills. We are Jesus' eternal aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video.
The Simpsons apparently predicted Donald Trump's presidential victory back in 2000.
And how about The Simpsons? How about The Simpsons keep
predicting
calling it
everything?
They predicted the Apple Vision Pro.
Donald Trump's announcement of his 2024 presidential campaign has reignited discussions surrounding The Simpsons' uncanny ability to foresee major events. Fans of the long-running animated series have noted yet another instance of its predictions coming true, as the show once depicted Trump running for president in 2024. After Trump declared his third bid for the presidency, people around the world revisited an iconic moment from a 2015 mini-episode titled Trumptastic Voyage. In this episode, Homer Simpson embarks on a bizarre journey involving Trump's infamous hairpiece, while a campaign sign for Trump 2024 looms in the background. This comedic scene has now taken on a new life, with viewers marveling at the show's apparent foresight. However, this is not the first time The Simpsons mentioned Donald Trump. Back in 2000, the series made a memorable reference to Trump being president, offering a satirical glimpse into a future that has since materialized. The episode, titled Bart to the Future, showcased a grim aftermath of Trump's presidency, including an economic collapse that forced Lisa Simpson, Trump's fictional successor, to grapple with the fallout. Donald Trump's bid to return to the White House comes with promises of sweeping changes. As the 47th president, and the 45th before that, Trump has made his policy intentions clear. He has vowed to implement mass deportations, suggested the United States might not intervene in foreign conflicts under certain conditions, and pledged to overhaul the federal bureaucracy. These plans include replacing career civil servants with loyalists and expanding presidential powers in ways that deviate from traditional conservative ideals of limited government. Critics warn that such measures could concentrate unprecedented authority in the executive branch, potentially targeting political opponents and reshaping America's political landscape. Trump paints a dire picture of the nation's future should he fail to return, emphasizing themes of economic recovery and national greatness. The Simpsons' predictions have extended beyond Trump's presidency to forecast broader economic consequences. In the Bart to the Future episode, Lisa Simpson inherits a deeply troubled economy following Trump's term. The show humorously depicted her dealing with a financial crisis brought about by the policies of her predecessor. At the time, this scenario seemed like far-fetched satire, but recent global economic strains have led some to reconsider the episode's prescience. Economic challenges such as inflation, geopolitical tensions, trade wars, and pandemic aftershocks have destabilized markets worldwide. Analysts are increasingly concerned that these pressures could lead to a downturn reminiscent of the one The Simpsons portrayed. While the episode's exaggerated tone was once a source of humor, it now serves as a sobering lens through which to view the real-world challenges facing the global economy. Trump's campaign rhetoric frequently underscores his ambition to revitalize American industry and protect domestic manufacturing. However, critics argue that his approach centered on erecting barriers to foreign trade and reigniting trade wars could risk further economic instability. Trump envisions a return to an era when the United States' industrial power was unmatched, but his strategy remains vague and contentious. Some analysts warn that the pursuit of these policies could exacerbate existing financial vulnerabilities. National debt, fragile markets, and inflationary pressures already strain the global economy. The potential for these factors to converge into a larger crisis mirrors the cautionary tale presented in The Simpsons' fictional universe. Adding another layer of intrigue, a recent vision shared by a self-described prophet has captivated discussions about America's economic future. This individual recounted a vivid image of a dam reminiscent of the Hoover Dam holding back a thick, swampy liquid. Floating within the sludge were barrels labeled with phrases like bank collapse, economic crisis, and dollar crash. The dam, symbolizing the tenuous state of America's economy, eventually broke, unleashing a devastating flood across the nation. The vision described a rapid sequence of events leading to a sudden economic collapse. Food lines stretched down city streets, echoing images from the Great Depression. The collapse of the US dollar triggered widespread hardship, with the first year marked by chaos and shock. By the second and third years, Americans had begun to adapt to their new reality, though many remained visibly weary, their faces reflecting the toll of prolonged economic struggle. Recovery was hinted at in the fourth year, yet the scars of the crisis lingered. The prophetic imagery painted a stark picture of the country's vulnerability, with the dams breaking seen as a release of pent-up economic pressures. While the vision was not directly tied to Trump's presidency, the timing of its predicted collapse shortly after the 2024 election has fueled speculation about its possible connection to his policies. Economic experts and political commentators alike have drawn parallels between the prophecy, The Simpsons' portrayal, and the real-world challenges currently facing global markets. Issues such as inflation, geopolitical conflicts, and rising debt levels are not merely hypothetical concerns, but pressing realities. The pandemic exposed weaknesses in supply chains and exacerbated inequality, while trade disputes and political instability have further shaken confidence in financial systems. The notion of an economic collapse may have once seemed relegated to fictional narratives, but the convergence of these factors has heightened anxieties about the future. Trump's promises to reinvigorate the U.S. economy through protectionist measures and expanded presidential authority could either stabilize or further destabilize the nation, depending on one's perspective. Trump's vision for America's future often invokes a nostalgic longing for past industrial strength. However, critics argue that his policies could lead to unintended consequences, such as isolating the U.S. from global markets and deepening economic divides. Proponents of Trump's strategy believe his tough stance on trade and focus on domestic manufacturing could restore the country's economic dominance. The stakes are undeniably high. If Trump's policies lead to growth and stability, his legacy could be one of revival. However, if they backfire, the cost could be profound, leaving a fractured economy and strained international relationships in their wake. As the world watches Trump's 2024 campaign unfold, the eerie similarities between The Simpsons' satirical predictions and current events serve as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of history. While the show's depiction of a Trump presidency and economic collapse was intended as humor, its relevance today underscores the interconnectedness of political decisions and economic outcomes. The prophetic vision of a dam breaking and the grim scenarios it described further emphasize the fragility of financial systems. Whether viewed through the lens of satire, prophecy, or policy analysis, the common thread is a recognition of the challenges that lie ahead. The coming years will reveal whether America can navigate these turbulent waters with or without Donald Trump at the helm. If history and satire have taught us anything, it's that the future often holds surprises that defy even the most imaginative predictions.
A popular TV show predicted this would happen. The term, The Simpsons did it first, has proven the animated series correctly predicted.
A recent vision depicted an attempt to reassemble parts of a broken airplane symbolizing America. The scattered components' wings, cockpit, tail, and wheels lay separated, unable to be restored to their original form. Former President Donald Trump was seen working to salvage what he could, crafting a new type of aircraft capable of flight but inferior to its former glory. Marked with USA in bold black letters, the plane appeared mirrored and constructed of silver aluminum. While it could fly, the vision emphasized this as a warning. The nation could recover but would not return to its former state of excellence. The vision transitioned into a dire portrayal of America's future, following a dam breaking and the collapse of the dollar. People stood in long lines, symbolizing economic hardship and societal struggle. This imagery paralleled an earlier vision of Trump praying in the Oval Office, which was interpreted as a prolonged period of reflection and supplication during a national crisis. The economic downturn was likened to 4 oak trees, each representing a year of challenge. These years were depicted as being marked by political turmoil, with Trump once again at the center of global economic and political discourse. The prophetic tone underscored the fragility of America's future, stirring both concern and debate. The reference to this vision drew comparisons to popular media, such as The Simpsons, which has often been credited with uncanny predictions of real-world events. While The Simpsons is known for its humor, its portrayal of societal and political collapses resonates deeply with current anxieties. The fictional scenarios they depict, such as economic and social disaster, spark discussions on whether such outcomes are truly plausible. For many, these narratives align with warnings found in faith traditions, particularly Christianity, which view natural and man-made disasters as consequences of humanity's collective sinfulness. Amid these warnings, the message is clear. Only through turning to God and collective prayer can these outcomes be mitigated. The vision called for national unity, urging Americans to come together in prayer for peace and divine guidance. Some have also linked these warnings to the writings of Nostradamus, who prophesied global upheaval. His predictions, coupled with modern-day warnings, suggest a pressing need for vigilance and preparedness. The vision concluded with a call for Americans to pray, emphasizing that faith and belief in God could alter the trajectory of any prophecy. The potential for divine intervention offers hope, even as tensions rise and uncertainties loom. The strained relationship between the United States and China adds another layer to this complex narrative. The Simpsons once depicted a nuclear war between the two nations, a scenario that fans fear could materialize. Current geopolitical dynamics reveal heightened friction, with the U.S. accused of seeking to maintain global hegemony at China's expense. Meanwhile, China perceives American policies as obstructing its development. Efforts to stabilize relations have been undermined by entrenched differences. The U.S. wants China to curb its aggressive territorial claims and trade practices, while China demands an end to U.S. tariffs, sanctions, and criticisms of its human rights record. Neither side appears willing to concede, and the possibility of further escalation looms. Should Trump return to the presidency, the US-China relationship is expected to once again dominate global discourse. Environmental disasters also feature prominently in these visions and media narratives. In the Simpsons movie, 2007, the plot revolves around a massive environmental crisis triggered by pollution. Though the portrayal of quarantining a town under a giant bubble is exaggerated, the underlying warning about environmental neglect is pertinent. Global warming and corporate carelessness remain pressing concerns, with dire consequences for humanity and the planet. If unchecked, the environmental degradation of today could lead to catastrophic outcomes by 2025, a date ominously highlighted in many speculative discussions. Renewable energy and the suppression of green technologies also appear as significant themes. In one Simpsons episode, Lisa invents a solar-powered car, only for her efforts to be thwarted by corporate interference. The symbolism of her failure speaks to real-world struggles between environmental progress and entrenched corporate interests. Even as renewable energy technologies advance, they face obstacles from powerful industries resistant to change. These challenges reflect broader societal battles over sustainability, innovation, and profit-driven agendas. The specter of World War III has also surfaced in discussions, drawing parallels to The Simpsons and other cultural references. A 1987 sketch from The Tracy Ullman Show, where Homer Simpson jokes about a Third World War, now feels eerily prescient. Rising geopolitical tensions, including ongoing conflicts like the war in Ukraine, lend credence to fears that global conflict may be closer than ever. The alignment of historical patterns, international rivalries, and unresolved disputes creates an environment where large-scale war seems increasingly plausible. Each of these visions and narratives paints a sobering picture of potential futures for America and the world. Economic struggles, environmental crises, geopolitical strife, and societal divisions converge in these warnings, urging reflection and action. For many, the path forward lies in faith, prayer, and unity, as individuals and nations grapple with the challenges of an uncertain future. Amid these challenges, the hope remains that divine intervention and human resilience can pave the way for renewal and peace. In recent months, escalating tensions in Gaza and sporadic armed skirmishes across various regions have left much of the international community on edge. The unease has given rise to speculation about the possibility of a broader global conflict. A number of Western media outlets have drawn stark parallels between today's geopolitical climate and the period preceding both World War I and World War II. The comparisons focus on several alarming trends: the role of competing alliances, rising economic tensions, and disputes over borders and territory. These factors, historians warn, have historically paved the way for catastrophic wars. Even if global war is not imminent, the chaos dominating the world stage is undeniably troubling. This period of unrest could be marking a return to a multipolar global order, one reminiscent of the early 20th century, where great powers jostled for dominance, often resorting to armed disputes over resources and territorial claims. The current climate, characterized by fractured alliances and growing animosities, is apparent to all. Amid this chaos, many speculate about the emergence of a figure who will captivate and sway the world, a powerful, charismatic individual capable of commanding widespread allegiance. This individual, some believe, may initially present themselves as a savior, offering solutions with sweet and confident words. Yet, as their position strengthens, their true nature could emerge. Many religious narratives, particularly Christian eschatology, identify such a figure as the Antichrist, a deceptive leader whose ultimate goal is global domination through manipulation and conflict. As faith wavers in the face of turmoil, those weak in conviction may align themselves with this figure, setting the stage for large-scale global strife. Amid these geopolitical concerns, cultural and technological shifts are also fueling speculation about a transformed future. A growing number of individuals draw connections between current technological advancements and predictions made in popular media, notably The Simpsons. The animated series has long been lauded or criticized for its uncanny ability to seemingly predict the future. One of these predictions centers around the concept of the Metaverse. Introduced to the mainstream by Mark Zuckerberg and his rebranding of Facebook as Meta, the Metaverse envisions a boundless virtual reality where individuals can meet, work, and play through VR headsets, AR glasses, and other devices. Interestingly, The Simpsons seemingly depicted a similar concept in its 2011 episode, Holidays of Future Past. In this episode, Lisa Simpson is shown entering the Ultranet, an immersive online world that parallels today's virtual reality innovations. The eerie similarities between this fictional portrayal and the Metaverse project suggest that The Simpsons may have foreseen the rise of interconnected digital communities. Expanding on its predictions of digital integration, The Simpsons also hinted at the transformation of traditional art into digital formats. As virtual environments gain prominence, physical art galleries may evolve into immersive digital showcases. Imagine walking through iconic institutions like the Louvre, not physically, but via a VR headset. Here, artworks exist as non-fungible tokens, NFTs, digital assets authenticated through blockchain technology. While such a shift would revolutionize the appreciation of art, it also raises profound questions about authenticity and value, especially in an era increasingly dominated by AI-generated creations. The Simpsons has long blurred the lines between the real and the digital, and its vision of the future challenges conventional notions of how art is created, experienced, and preserved. Music, often viewed as a universal language of emotion, may soon transcend its traditional role as entertainment. Advances in neural research and sound technology are uncovering the profound effects of specific frequencies on brain function. This emerging field suggests that music could be used as a tool for enhancing productivity, relaxation, or even emotional states. Once again, The Simpsons appears to have envisioned this possibility. The show has portrayed futuristic scenarios where music manipulates mood and cognition, showcasing a world where playlists might choose your mood rather than the other way around. As we approach 2025, the idea of music-driven mind control no longer seems far-fetched, reflecting a fascinating yet unnerving convergence of technology and human psychology. Perhaps one of the most unexpected intersections between popular media and complex scientific theories comes in the form of Homer Simpson's obsession with donuts. This seemingly trivial quirk of the character has unexpectedly been linked to theoretical physics, particularly the concept of a donut-shaped universe. In one episode, Homer's love for donuts takes him on a bizarre journey that includes an encounter with the renowned theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking. Known for his groundbreaking work on black holes and the universe, Hawking made a guest appearance on the show, engaging in a playful exchange with the underachieving patriarch. While the show's light-hearted portrayal of cosmology might seem absurd, it has drawn attention to real scientific debates about the shape and structure of the universe. The idea of a toroidal or donut-shaped universe has been entertained by some cosmologists as a theoretical possibility, giving Homer's humorous musings an unexpected layer of credibility. The Simpsons has long been a cultural phenomenon, not only for its humor, but also for its eerie ability to forecast future trends and events. Whether it's technological advancements, societal shifts, or even global crises, the show has repeatedly demonstrated an uncanny knack for being ahead of its time. While many of these predictions can be attributed to coincidence or the show's satirical take on existing trends, others provoke deeper thought about the trajectory of human civilization. The show's portrayal of the metaverse, digital art, mind control through music, and even theoretical physics serves as a reminder of how fiction often mirrors reality. As the boundaries between the real and the imagined blur, The Simpsons challenges us to reflect on the implications of a rapidly changing world. From geopolitical tensions to technological revolutions, the series encapsulates the complexities of our time, offering both humor and a surprising degree of prescience. In a world fraught with uncertainty, the interplay between popular media, technology, and global events becomes ever more compelling. Whether it's the forewarning of an Antichrist figure rising amid global chaos, or the prediction of transformative technological trends, these narratives capture the imagination and stir deep reflection. As humanity navigates this period of upheaval, these stories, both fictional and prophetic, serve as a lens through which we examine our past, present, and potential future. The journey ahead is as uncertain as it is fascinating, and as The Simpsons has shown us time and again, the most outlandish ideas may hold kernels of truth. The geopolitical tension surrounding Gaza, coupled with numerous armed skirmishes across the globe, has left much of the international community on edge. Many observers are drawing parallels between today's political landscape and the precarious environment that preceded global conflicts in the past. Western media outlets are emphasizing the role of fractured alliances, economic instability, and disputes over territorial sovereignty as potential catalysts for a larger-scale conflict. Even if a global war does not immediately materialize, the current state of chaos signals a return to a multipolar world where powerful nations compete for dominance, often through military means. This turbulent era has fueled speculation about the emergence of a charismatic leader who could shape global events in unforeseen ways. History and religious prophecy intertwine in such discussions, particularly as many believe this figure could fit the biblical description of the Antichrist. According to some interpretations, this leader would captivate the masses with charm and promises, only to reveal their true motives once firmly entrenched in power. In this narrative, the Antichrist would lead a campaign of unprecedented global conflict, forcing those with wavering faith to choose sides. Such dramatic scenarios contribute to the sense of foreboding surrounding current international developments. Meanwhile, technological advancements continue to reshape the future in ways that were once considered science fiction. The concept of the Metaverse, a virtual reality-driven world of interconnected digital spaces, has gained significant attention. Spearheaded by figures like Mark Zuckerberg and the rebranded Meta, formerly Facebook, the Metaverse aims to revolutionize how people interact, work, and socialize. Intriguingly, fans of The Simpsons claim the show predicted this concept over a decade ago. In the 2011 episode Holidays of Future Past, Lisa Simpson navigates the Ultranet, a digital realm that mirrors today's virtual reality aspirations. As society ventures deeper into the metaverse, traditional notions of reality, art, and social interaction are being redefined. One area undergoing a dramatic transformation is the art world. As virtual spaces gain prominence, traditional galleries are evolving into immersive digital showcases for non-fungible tokens, NFTs. This new form of digital art ownership has sparked debates about the value and authenticity of creations that exist entirely online. The Simpsons, once again ahead of its time, humorously hinted at such shifts, imagining a future where art transcends physical boundaries and inhabits the limitless expanse of the internet. The rise of NFTs and AI-generated art challenges the very definition of creativity and value, ushering in a new era of artistic expression. In addition to art, the influence of technology extends to more personal realms, such as mental health and productivity. Advances in neural research have revealed how certain sound frequencies can impact brain function, influencing emotions and cognitive states. The concept of music mind control, where music is used as a tool for mood regulation and enhanced focus, aligns with The Simpsons' uncanny predictions. As the boundaries between entertainment and neuroscience blur, the future of music may involve personalized soundscapes designed to optimize mental states. Even the cosmos hasn't escaped The Simpsons' imaginative grasp. The show has humorously dabbled in complex scientific theories, including a peculiar connection to Homer Simpson's favorite food, donuts. In one episode, Homer interacts with the late theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, touching on the notion of a donut-shaped universe. While the scene was intended as a joke, some cosmologists have explored similar ideas about the universe's topology. This playful intersection of humor and science exemplifies the show's ability to weave profound concepts into its narrative, often with surprising relevance. Ultimately, The Simpsons' unique blend of satire and foresight continues to captivate audiences. From geopolitics to technological innovation and even theoretical physics, the show's predictions provoke thought and invite reflection on the ever-evolving world around us. Whether these forecasts are coincidental or the result of astute social commentary, they serve as a reminder of the complex interplay between human imagination and reality.
It claims Nostradamus predicted Queen Elizabeth would die in 2022.
Tonight we begin with the wake-up call from the United Nations on what they call the unequivocal impact humans are having on our planet. Their once-in-a-decade climate report is out today, and with it comes a warning.
The death of Pope Francis. In 1555, he wrote these prophecies that could lead to a global conflict. According to Nostradamus, the death of Pope Francis at the age of 87 is something that will happen. Maybe you don't know, the Pope has had quite a few health problems, forcing him to skip the United Nations conference because of severe pneumonia and some other respiratory problems. So was it the cause of the Pope's death? We can't come to that conclusion yet, but we will know in a short period of time. What's terrifying is that his successor will be a Roman. This person will weaken people's faith, but will still be Pope for a long time, it seems. The exact meaning of the word weakening in Nostradamus' prophecy is still highly debated. It can have two meanings. The idea of being married to each other is quite a weakening effect on the church and people's faith, and it can reduce the impact of any major scandal on the religious community. It is difficult to understand exactly what he wrote in his prophecy. His style is confusing and full of metaphors from which we can understand the 4 verses in many different ways. So we cannot confirm that these things will happen exactly. But you can see the current situation. Maybe we have understood this prophecy correctly. King Charles's battle with cancer. The next prediction takes us to the internal affairs of the British royal family. In a shocking revelation, Buckingham Palace disclosed that King Charles, venerable monarch of Britain, faces a formidable adversary, cancer. The 75-year-old sovereign, in the throes of this battle, must temporarily retreat from his public duties to undergo treatment. Yet his resolve remains unyielding, yearning to resume his obligations as swiftly as possible. However, amidst this turmoil, whispers of prophecy resurface, hearkening back to the enigmatic verses penned by Nostradamus centuries ago. Could these prophetic murmurs foretell a tumultuous fate for the British monarchy? According to interpretations of his 1555 text, Le Prophecies, Nostradamus ominously predicts a royal upheaval, hinting at the possibility of abdication by King Charles. In his place, a surprising successor emerges. Prince Harry, once relegated to the role of spare heir, now thrust into the limelight as the unexpected heir to the throne. But the intrigue does not end there. The mysterious disappearance of the Princess of Wales, coupled with the prolonged absence of Kate Middleton, fuels a storm of speculation and conspiracy theories. While official statements attribute Kate's seclusion to a planned surgery and subsequent recovery, rumors swirl unabated. Some suggest she languishes in an induced coma, shielded from prying eyes by a veil of secrecy woven by the royal household. Amidst the chaos, a controversial incident emerges. the manipulation of a family photograph shared by the Princess of Wales. Dubbed Kate-spiracy by social media, this incident ignites further scrutiny into the actions of the royal family, casting doubt upon the authenticity of their public image. Yet, amidst the whispers and conjecture, one cannot overlook the eerie accuracy of Nostradamus' past prediction. His prophecy regarding Queen Elizabeth II's demise, foretelling her passing at the age of 96, sends shivers down the spine. As the late monarch's death aligns with the prophesied age, one cannot help but ponder the veracity of Nostradamus' insights. In conclusion, while these predictions may seem far-fetched, history has shown us the unexpected can unfold in the realm of royalty. As we navigate through this labyrinth of intrigue and speculation, one thing remains certain: the enigmatic legacy of Nostradamus continues to captivate our imaginations, leaving us to wonder what the future holds for the British monarchy. World War III. The French sage Nostradamus once peered into the mists of time and foretold of a new world war, a chilling prophecy that echoes through the annals of history. As we stand 79 years removed from the end of the Second World War, the stage seems set for a confrontation that could engulf the world in flames. The focal point of this gathering storm lies in the shifting tides of power surrounding China, whose ascent as a global powerhouse has set the geopolitical chessboard ablaze. From the contested waters of the South China Sea to the simmering tensions over Taiwan, China's assertive displays of strength raise the specter of a cataclysmic clash with NATO forces. Analysts warn of a powder keg primed for ignition, where a single spark could unleash a violent conflagration of unprecedented scale. Nostradamus' cryptic verses offer further fuel for speculation, speaking of combat and naval battles that leave the great ocean trembling in fear. Could these prophecies portend the rise of a red adversary, whose actions mirror those of China in our modern era? The echoes of past conflicts, from Ukraine to the Taiwan Strait, only serve to deepen the sense of foreboding that grips the world. Yet, amidst the clamor of war drums, we must tread carefully through the maze of prophecy and interpretation. While seismic shifts in geopolitics may herald the approach of the end times, they do not serve as the definitive harbingers of apocalypses. The Apostle Paul's warnings of deception and moral decay remind us that the road to perdition is paved with false prophets and misguided interpretations. Indeed, the specter of the Antichrist looms large in the collective consciousness, his shadow cast across the pages of history like a dark omen. Nostradamus spoke of three such figures: Napoleon, Hitler, and now the harbinger of the apocalypse yet to come. Speculation runs rampant as to the identity of this malevolent force, with names ranging from political leaders to royalty thrown into the crucible of conjecture. But let us not be swayed by the whispers of fear and uncertainty. For amidst the gathering storm, a beacon of hope shines bright, a promise of righteousness prevailing in the face of darkness. The words of Christ himself foretell of wars and rumors of wars, yet they also offer assurance of a final victory over evil. As we navigate the turbulent waters of prophecy and geopolitics, let us hold fast to the truth that lies within our grasp. For in the twilight of human history, it is not the machinations of empires or the rise of tyrants that shall determine our fate, but the enduring light of faith and righteousness that guides our path forward.
By the 1980s, Vanga, who adopted the name Baba Vanga, had given thousands of accurate predictions and gained a reputation as the Nostradamus of the Balkans.
Baba Vanga, a renowned figure famous for her alleged clairvoyant abilities, has captivated the world with her striking predictions about the future. She claimed that her gift of foresight began at the age of 12. following a life-altering incident where she lost her sight in a powerful tornado. Despite her death in 1996, her prophecies continue to intrigue and resonate with her followers, who eagerly anticipate the unfolding of her predictions, especially those said to concern significant global events in 2025. Could there really be a major political comeback on the horizon, one that would shake up the U.S. presidency? And what about her warning of a significant conflict that might change everything? Stick around, because we're about to unpack some of Baba Vanga's most talked about predictions for the near future. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's get started.
We are Jesus' eternal aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video.
For centuries, seers and prophets have come forward, offering dramatic visions of mankind's destiny. But what happens when the predictions turn deadly?
The legendary Bulgarian mystic is well known for her prophecies involving major global events such as World War II, the Chernobyl disaster, and the fall of the Soviet Union. Among her many foretellings, Baba Vanga also predicted danger for two towering global figures, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. In recent times, her visions regarding Trump have drawn increased attention, as some eerie parallels seem to align with his life events. Potential dangers to President Trump. Baba Vanga prophesied that Donald Trump would be struck by a mysterious illness, one that would leave him deaf and even afflicted by a brain tumor. While these exact conditions haven't manifested, a recent near-assassination attempt appears to mirror the danger she predicted. In Pennsylvania, this past July, Trump collapsed suddenly while on stage, prompting Secret Service agents to rush in and surround him. The tension in the air was palpable as he was helped to his feet and escorted off stage. But in a moment that has since become iconic in American political history, Trump defiantly raised his fist and shouted, "Fight, fight, fight," capturing the spirit of his supporters and underlining his resilient nature. Trump's journey back to power, if fulfilled, would not just influence domestic policies, but would also leave a profound impact globally. 4 years after leaving the White House amid controversy over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, Trump has faced and overcome many obstacles that would have overwhelmed most political figures. 2 impeachment trials, a criminal conviction, numerous legal charges, and even 2 assassination attempts have all tested his resolve. Yet, in his view, surviving these trials and returning to the political arena was all part of a higher plan. Trump himself has claimed that God saved him for a new mission for America, reinvigorating his supporters and positioning him once again as a force in U.S. politics. However, even as Trump seeks to reclaim the presidency, it's clear that the road ahead is fraught with challenges. Baba Vanga's predictions may serve as a chilling reminder that the journey for Trump is far from over, with many more dangerous trials still possibly lying ahead. It seems the call to fight may not just be a symbol of his defiance, but also a foreshadowing of the battles yet to come. The upcoming war. Former U.S. President Donald Trump is known for his bold, unpredictable approach to international politics, and, according to many commentators, his re-election could mean strained relations for the United States with other nations once again. Trump has always maintained complicated relationships with several global powers, and his rhetoric often stoked tensions, particularly during trade disputes and other diplomatic standoffs. Baba Vanga's prediction for 2025 coincides with these concerns. She foresaw a conflict erupting on mainland Europe, a conflict that could have worldwide ramifications. This prophecy suggests that tensions might escalate into a broader confrontation, pulling in major powers and impacting the entire global order. Though the exact nations are not named, the fear of political alliances collapsing or tensions leading to open conflict cannot be overlooked. If Trump indeed returns to power, His policies could be the catalyst for such an event, as he has expressed an intention to escalate what he perceives as economic and geopolitical threats. Another prophecy that aligns with current fears is the prospect of a global economic crisis. Baba Vanga predicted a significant financial downturn around 2025, which would be accompanied by high tensions between world powers. Given Trump's historical stance on international trade marked by his America First policy and the trade wars he launched, it's not surprising that many believe his return could contribute to economic instability. Economic warfare has always been an indirect means of achieving political aims without resorting to open conflict. Trump's trade policies could lead to a high-stakes economic gamble, with tariffs and sanctions being used to try to revive American manufacturing industries. While Trump's approach is aimed at rejuvenating America's economic power, it risks creating more significant divisions between the U.S. and other global economies, potentially causing a downturn that impacts not only America, but other countries as well. Vanga also foresaw the return of communism, with a global resurgence expected by 2076. This is intriguing in the context of rising political divisions. If economic inequalities and hardships increase significantly, the political landscape could indeed shift toward alternative ideologies, including socialism or communism, as people seek security amidst chaos. Reports and predictions from other contemporary sources echo Baba Vanga's vision of a global economic crisis in 2025. In a paper published by the Hitachi Research Institute in May 2022, researchers warned of ongoing economic uncertainty, forecasting potential stagflation, where inflation persists alongside economic stagnation and recession. Stagflation has historical precedents, such as the second oil shock in the 1970s and the late 2000s financial crisis. In each case, the global economy eventually recovered, but only after experiencing significant economic pain. The Hitachi report highlights several potential threats, including prolonged inflation, continued interest rate hikes in major economies, social unrest due to economic disparities, and the complete division between Russia and Western economies. If these issues worsen, they could lead to a compound crisis, resulting in a severe economic downturn, echoing Baba Vanga's ominous warnings. Social factors also play a significant role, with the possibility of a new pandemic further complicating global recovery. Pandemics bring additional challenges, such as supply chain disruptions and increased pressure on public health systems, all of which could exacerbate the economic challenges. Another vivid prophecy comes from a more recent visionary account describing a catastrophic economic collapse set to unfold in early 2025. The vision presented a dam filled with thick, sludge-like substances containing barrels labeled with words like finance collapse and bank structure meltdown. The dam symbolized a financial structure holding back an immense amount of instability, waiting to burst. The dam's collapse in the vision represented a sudden release of pent-up economic issues causing widespread devastation. Barrels labeled with terms like dollar crash spilled out as the dam broke, flooding American soil and unleashing chaos. The visionary also saw food lines stretching down streets, an indication of the rapid and severe impact this economic meltdown would have on everyday people. The implications of this vision align eerily with Vanga's prediction of economic crisis. The collapse of key financial structures and a subsequent devaluation of the dollar could lead to a deep recession, with millions of people losing their livelihoods. In the vision, the sudden onset of economic turmoil left people unprepared, as if caught in winter storms while dressed in summer clothes. The metaphor suggested a stripping away of prosperity, leaving a stark, bare reality. The oak tree symbolizing America still stood, but it had been stripped of its wealth and vibrancy. Not all predictions are entirely bleak. Baba Vanga's Prophecies and the Hitachi Research Institute both suggest that, while the road ahead is fraught with difficulties, there may also be opportunities for positive transformation. Hitachi's analysis mentions that some of the crises predicted for 2025, such as rising resource prices and a new pandemic, could accelerate the growth of new sectors and investments, such as digital transformation, DX, and green energy initiatives, GX. The expansion of these sectors could help restructure economic systems and address some of the root causes of inequality and instability. By investing in green technologies and digital infrastructure, the world economy could potentially shift from a gloomy outlook to one of renewed hope by the end of 2025. The hope is that innovation and reform will not only avert catastrophe, but also pave the way for a more resilient and sustainable global economy. Should Donald Trump return to the White House, his legacy might be marked by his ambition to increase America's economic independence by escalating trade wars. His plan to bring back America's industrial might, a vision of an undefined period in history when American manufacturing was dominant, comes with significant risks. Erecting economic barriers around the country's manufacturing base might isolate the U.S. from valuable global partnerships, increasing production costs and reducing competitiveness. Trump's great gamble on economic isolationism might temporarily benefit certain domestic industries but would likely lead to retaliatory measures from other countries, further straining relationships with major economies. The uncertainty of Trump's economic policies, paired with Baba Vanga's ominous forecasts of conflict and financial collapse, paints a concerning picture for America's future on the global stage. The vision of 4 years of hardship suggested that these would not be mere 4 seasons, but rather 4 full years of economic struggle. People initially faced significant challenges, and by the second and third years, they had adapted to a new way of life. However, they still appeared weary, with dirty faces and worn clothing reminiscent of the imagery of the Great Depression era. By the 4th year, though, there were signs of recovery. In another vision, President Trump was seen attempting to reconstruct a broken airplane that symbolized America. The parts of the plane, such as the wing, cockpit, tail, and wheels, were scattered, and Trump could not fully restore it to its original form. Instead, he salvaged what he could, piecing together a new type of aircraft that could fly but would never be as powerful or impressive as it once was. The airplane, marked with USA in black letters and appearing as if made from silver aluminum, symbolized America's partial recovery. It served as a warning. Although the plane could fly again, the nation would not return to its former state of glory. After the collapse of the dam and the crash of the dollar, people were left standing in long food lines. The hardship in the vision was a stark reminder of President Trump praying in the Oval Office, which was described as lasting for months. The belief was that this economic downturn could last for 4 years, symbolized by 4 oak trees, each one representing a challenging year. It was emphasized that the whole of America should come together in prayer for peace across all states and for the sake of its citizens. The prophecy of Nostradamus could potentially come true, and everyone should pay attention and be prepared for what is to come. Americans must unite in faith and prayer. It is believed that prayer to the Lord could change the course of prophecy. While apocalyptic predictions are anticipated to begin around 2025, humanity will not be completely eradicated until 5079, as mentioned in Baba Vanga's timeline of predictions. Baba Vanga went on to state that a conflict in Europe would devastate the continent's population by 2025. This prophecy is worrying to many, especially given the ongoing geopolitical tensions and conflicts. According to Vanga, the timeline to the end of humanity begins in 2025, with an unspecified conflict in Europe devastating the population. In 2028, humanity will require more energy and supposedly will manage to explore Venus to find new energy sources. This part of the timeline might sound unbelievable given that Venus is essentially an inhospitable hellscape with an extremely acidic atmosphere. No space probe has survived there for more than a few hours. By 2033, climate change becomes a major concern, and Baba Vanga predicted that at this point, the polar ice caps would melt and sea levels would rise drastically worldwide. There's a certain dark humor to the situation, reminiscent of an old episode of The Simpsons*, where Russia flips a switch and the Soviet Union reforms instantly, complete with the Berlin Wall shooting back up and a zombie Vladimir Lenin emerging to crush capitalism. While it might not happen quite like that, Baba Vanga's alleged prediction claims that by 2076, communism will not only be back, but will take over the entire world. Skipping ahead to the next century, Vanga supposedly predicted that by 2130, humanity will make contact with aliens, though understandably what happens from there is anyone's guess. Climate change worsens in 2170, leading to a severe global drought. By 2250, there is a mention of a new civilization on Mars, possibly as a result of human colonization or alien interaction, and by 3797, the Earth will supposedly no longer be able to support life. Humans are said to leave Earth at this point and move on to parts unknown. The end of humanity, or the grand finale, is predicted for 5079, though little detail is provided about this final event. We don't know if the world will end with a great epic battle, an anticlimactic incident, or just fade into nothingness. It's important to note that many of these predictions sound implausible and exaggerated. Baba Vanga was indeed a real person who amassed a following and legend around her. But since no official record of her predictions exists, it's unclear whether any of the predictions attributed to her today are genuine. Even if they were real, there is no guarantee of their accuracy. Nevertheless, these predictions serve as a reminder of an important concept. While there are countless prophecies and predictions about the end of the world, religious texts such as the Bible assert that no one knows the day or hour of such an event except God. The prophecy of Baba Vanga also brings to mind a Bible verse. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. In these uncertain times, doubtless, people may start to use such disasters as signs that the end is near. Signs of living in the last days are a common theme, particularly in religious texts and discussions of eschatology. In the New Testament, it is clear that the last days actually began with Christ's first coming, meaning that believers are now living in what could be considered the last days of the last days. Wars and rumors of wars are often cited as signs of the end, but God's people are encouraged not to be alarmed. The end is still to come, and earthquakes and famines are just the beginning of birth pangs. These events, much like labor pains that signal the imminent birth of a baby, remind believers that Christ will return, ending human history as we know it. Just as labor pains can be unreliable, sometimes coming months or weeks before the actual due date, these earthly disasters serve as reminders that we are drawing closer to that climactic day. However, the passing of time itself is also a reminder that we are inevitably moving toward that day. Baba Vanga also made an interesting prediction regarding Earth's path around the Sun. She suggested that in 2025, Earth could encounter a different orbital path around the Sun, potentially leading to dramatic effects on our lives. This prediction raises intriguing questions. As such, a shift could indeed have far-reaching consequences, according to Mark 13:32-33. But about that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. This verse speaks to the truth that nobody knows when the second coming of Christ will happen, despite numerous attempts throughout history to predict it. Many have tried to foresee when Jesus will return, but it remains an event beyond human prediction. The second coming of Christ is often confused with the rapture of the church, though these two events are distinct within the scope of Christian eschatology. The rapture will occur before the second coming of Christ, with the latter taking place only after the 7-year tribulation. These future events, their timing, and the specific circumstances that will accompany them remain unpredictable. The rapture is expected to serve as the catalyst for the remaining events of eschatology, as believers will be taken up to be with the Lord prior to the tribulation period. Following this tribulation, the second coming of Christ will occur, during which he will return to fight in the Battle of Armageddon. Revelation 19:11-16 describes this battle, in which the Lord will defeat the Antichrist and the false prophet, ultimately triumphing over evil and destroying those who oppose him. The second coming of Christ will be markedly different from his first. Whereas the first coming was marked by humility and sacrifice, the second coming will bring with it the full fruition of the promises of salvation. After the end of the 7-year tribulation, Jesus will reign as king for 1,000 years before establishing a new heaven and a new earth. This new creation will be exactly as God first intended when he created the Garden of Eden, free of death, pain, and sadness, and filled only with happiness, joy, and life. The second coming is a major event in the eschatological timeline, and one that all believers should anticipate eagerly. For those who already believe, there is confidence in the knowledge that they will return with Christ to fight in the Battle of Armageddon. Believers who have died or were taken up during the rapture will return with him to fight, knowing that even if the prospect seems frightening, they can trust in the Lord and his plans. On another note, Earth's journey around the Sun takes it across a staggering 584 million miles each year. This journey occurs along an epic elliptical path shaped like an oval rather than a perfect circle. The exact shape of Earth's orbit is influenced by the gravitational forces of other planets, causing changes that happen in a cyclical manner. Though these changes may seem minor, even subtle alterations in Earth's orbit can have severe implications for the planet. Such shifts could lead to drastic changes such as increased radiation levels or soaring temperatures. Baba Vanga's prediction of an orbital shift could imply an external event such as an asteroid impact, potentially triggering catastrophic consequences. It is natural to wonder whether such an event could be a sign of the end. In the face of all these potential threats, we are reminded that earthly disasters, wars, rumors of wars, and other unsettling events are not necessarily signs that the end is imminent. The Bible tells us that these occurrences are the beginnings of birth pangs, indicating that something transformative is coming, but not necessarily pinpointing an exact timeline. Labor pains are often unpredictable, and they serve as a reminder that change is on the horizon, but not necessarily at a moment we can foresee. For believers, these prophecies and predictions are a call to faith, prayer, and vigilance. Baba Vanga's predictions are undeniably thought-provoking, especially when they align with modern anxieties about war, climate change, and cosmic disturbances. However, it is important to approach such prophecies with both curiosity and caution. Throughout history, many people have claimed to predict the future, but the ultimate truth remains in the hands of God. The key takeaway is not to fear, but to stay prepared, stay faithful, and trust in the divine plan that has been laid out for all of humanity. Whatever happens, believers can take solace in their faith, knowing that they will have a part in the unfolding of God's ultimate vision for the world, one that promises an end to suffering and the beginning of a new, eternal life. Surely you all have a question that is, can people really see the future? It is difficult to answer this question accurately, but throughout human history there have been many outstanding individuals who were able to foresee part of humanity's future. Prophecies always make people panic today. We're going to explore this year's prophecies from two of the most renowned prophets, Nostradamus and Baba Vanga. These prominent seers have foretold catastrophic scenarios for 2024, ranging from wars and natural disasters to economic crises that are said to unfold. A scary scenario awaits us in 2024. What prophecies have been fulfilled and will be fulfilled? Join us in this video when we reveal all the terrifying truths about what Nostradamus and Baba Vanga have predicted.
We are Jesus' eternal aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video.
Baba Vanga predictions. Her real name is Vangelia Pandeva Gushtarova. She passed away in 1996 at 84 years old and supposedly predicted events that shocked the world and even predicted her death. Originally from Bulgaria, the clairvoyant believed she gained her powers during a terrible storm, which led to her losing her sight at age 12. Since then, Baba has made predictions about a range of historic events. Baba Vanga is the name that terrifies humanity because of her prophecies. People worldwide are still interested and confused by these mysterious predictions, which cover a wide range of global events and phenomena. The blind psychic passed away in 1996, but left behind various predictions that have come true in the years following her death. For 2024, Baba Vanga has some predictions in store, with some equally as terrifying as those of the past. First, she claimed the world would face an economic crisis this year, and now the UK and Japan are grappling with just that. The Office of National Statistics confirmed that GDP fell by a larger than expected 0.3% in the 3 months to December in the UK. This is a result of a decline in all main sectors of the economy and collapses in retail sales in Japan. The yen is currently at an all-time 34-year low, weakening to 51.97 against the US dollar. The country has now moved down to fourth position in global standings, being overtaken by Germany in third. Baba Vanga's forecast of a major economic crisis impacting the global economy in 2024 raises concerns about the interconnectedness of geopolitical events and financial stability. Then predictions of political upheavals and dangers are not limited to one area, indicating Vanga's vision of global tension talked about Putin in danger and European trials of the political upheavals as a result of the Russia and Ukraine war. Baba Vanga has predicted the assassination of Russian President Vladimir Putin. This prediction gains particular significance following a recent tragic event in Moscow that has shocked the world. The recent terrorist attack in Moscow, which claimed the lives of 133 individuals and left many more wounded, has sent shockwaves across Russia and beyond. President Putin addressed the nation acknowledging the severity of the attack and vowing to pursue those responsible for organizing the attack, which occurred across City Hall during a rock concert. marked one of the deadliest terrorist incidents in Moscow in over 2 decades. The tragedy has reignited concerns about security and terrorism in the region, prompting heightened vigilance and security measures while authorities have detained suspects linked to the attack, including individuals with alleged ties to extremist groups. Questions linger about the motives and origins of the speculation, and conspiracy theories have emerged, with some suggesting possible connections to larger geopolitical tensions and conflicts against this backdrop. Baba Vanga's prediction about a rise in terrorist attacks in Europe takes on added significance. Her mention of a big country conducting biological weapons tests or attacks adds another layer of complexity to the ongoing discussions about global security. Baba Vanga warned of increased terrorist activities in Europe and hinted at the possibility of a major country engaging in biological weapons testing or launching attacks presently. The Israel-Hamas conflict and Russia's invasion of Ukraine remain prominent issues because the balance of international power has changed in China. Rising as many people think, or is Russia declining rapidly, might be China's development cannot make up for Russia's decline, so the power to bounce the West is gradually becoming weaker. There are more and more democratic countries, and their power is getting stronger, such as Eastern Europe and India. NATO is gradually expanding eastward and has a pattern of encircling. China is also taking shape. Many territorial disputes between Russia and China are being unearthed from history. Russia's rule over Tatars, Cheta, and many other ethnic states in the southwest, and China's rule over East Turkestan, Tibet, Southern Mongolia, and Hong Kong are becoming less and less recognized by the world. The aftermath of the Moscow attack could potentially exacerbate existing economic challenges, leading to further uncertainty and volatility. Cyber attacks may be among the most impressive of Baba Vanga's predictions, since the internet was still in its very early stages when she passed away in 1996. The mystic predicted hackers would increase their attacks, especially against vital infrastructure, thus possibly creating security dangers worldwide. Most recently, the telecommunications giant AT&T recently announced a dataset found on the dark web containing information including some social security numbers and passcodes for about 7.6 million current and 65.4 million former account holders. Whether the data originated from AT&T or one of its vendors is still unknown. The Dallas-based company noted, adding that it had launched an investigation into the incident. AT&T has also begun notifying customers whose personal information was compromised. Apple, Meta, and has all disclosed cybersecurity attacks over the past 12 months, and with the explosive development of technology, cyber attacks will continue for a long time. The psychic's other prediction was that we would have drastic developments in healthcare. The mystic predicted that new cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer will be invented this year. It sounds unbelievable, but nothing is impossible with the rapid development of world medicine. President Vladimir Putin recently said that Russian scientists are close to creating a vaccine for cancer that could soon be available to patients. He said, "We have reached a significant milestone in the development of cancer vaccines and next-generation immunomodulatory drugs. I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy." However, he did not specify the types of cancer the proposed vaccines would target. Furthermore, recent developments have confirmed progress in the development of a lung cancer vaccine. The United Kingdom has allocated funding for 2 years of laboratory research and initial manufacturing of 3,000 doses for a DNA-based lung cancer vaccine, as stated. In a press release from the University of Oxford, located in Oxford, England, It cannot be denied that the world will have a positive outlook for cancer patients, and we can fully expect that a miracle will happen in 2024. The prophetess had also foretold that there would be severe weather events and natural disasters this year. Global heat waves are happening 67% more often. According to a study in Science Advances, the study found the highest temperatures in the heat waves are warmer than 40 years ago, and the area under a heat dome is larger from 1979 to 1983. Global heat waves would last 8 days on average, but by 2016 to 2020, that was up to 12 days. The study said the World Meteorological Organization said there is a high probability that 2024 will be another record hot year. Nostradamus prediction. With the death of Queen Elizabeth, the Pope's abdication, the age of the Antichrist, the terrifying rise of AI, and nations becoming aggressive and bringing each other down. What is mentioned in the Bible almost once again suggests the accuracy of his predictions surprised the world. He is Nostradamus, the 16th century French astrologer. The lay prophet is said to be a secret book when recording Nostradamus's prophecies to this world. The more time passed, the more Nostradamus's prophecy was confirmed. Nostradamus was born in France in 153. He first worked as a physician and began his medical practice in the 1530s. Although he did so without a medical degree, he began making prophecies about 1547, and he published his prophecies in a book entitled Les Prophecies. He wrote his prophecies in quatrains, in 4 lines of rhyming verse. The quatrains were grouped in hundreds. Each set of 100 quatrains was called a century, also known as the Prophet of Doom, the 16th century. French philosopher is best known for his foreboding forecast this time. The Frenchman was credited with forecasting the powerful earthquake that rocked Japan on New Year's Day of 2024. Outlining his predictions for 2024, the oracle wrote, "The dry earth will become more parched, and there will be great floods." The psychic's followers reckoned that he could have been referring to the 7.5 magnitude tremor that struck the nation's western coast, killing 48 people, toppling buildings, and sparking 1 mm high tsunamis. According to reports, residents in coastal communities fled to higher ground as the waves battered the coast, sweeping houses and cars into the sea. Nostradamus's prediction was not the only harbinger of a seismic calamity. Over the summer, divers in Taiwan encountered an injured giant, or fish. The doomsday fish is said to be a sign of impending earthquakes. This superstition is based on Japanese mythology, which states that a plankton eater that lives below the ocean's surface will intentionally rise to the surface ahead of an incoming tremor. The legend is that if you see an oarfish doomsday fish, it is a warning sign from higher powers that disasters such as earthquakes are soon to occur. They reference the 2011 Fukushima earthquake and tsunami, which saw dozens of these alleged seagoing seismometers wash ashore in the 2 years. Preceding the catastrophe, psychic adherents also say that Nostradamus's dry earth prediction could be referring to the ongoing climate crisis, which has spawned an uptick in droughts and fires worldwide here. He mentioned climate catastrophe, climate chaos has already begun, with cases of wildfires, flooding, and drought increasing around the globe in recent years, especially in 2023. But what's interesting is how he seems to have foreseen these apocalyptic events. All those centuries ago, he predicts the dry earth will grow more parched, and there will be great floods when it is seen elsewhere. He warns of storms leading to starvation and very great famine through pestiferous waves. He wrote Nostradamus and continued his prediction by predicting the farewell of Pope Francis. According to Nostradamus, we could be facing a year that could mean the farewell to Pope Francis, who at 87 years of age in 2024 has already gone through several health problems. The Pope had to skip the UN Climate Conference because of lung inflammation and breathing problems. Through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected of him. It will be said that he weakens his see, but long will he sit, and in biting activity, Nostradamus wrote, while the arrival of a younger, vigorous pope sounds like a good thing. Nostradamus immediately goes on to say that the new leader will weaken his see and that he will be pope for a long time. The exact meaning of weaken is, of course, open to debate. Does he mean the influence of the church will somehow lessen, or is some greater scandal on the way? Well, only time will tell. However, it's essential to note that his writings, particularly in Li, are written in a cryptic and metaphorical style that is open to various interpretations. Many of his quatrains are vague and can be applied to different events. The prophecy also predicted the confrontation between the U.S. and China. Joe Biden tried to thaw relations with China when he and Xi Jinping met in November 2023 to discuss Taiwan, fentanyl, and climate change. However, Nostradamus' predictions suggest it could have all been in vain in a verse that begins by describing combat and naval battle. He writes of how a red adversary will become pale with fear. Putting the great ocean in dread, the red adversary could refer to China given the color of their flag, and the references to naval conflict are eerie in light of the escalating discussion about the state of Taiwan, with the island located at the junction of the East and South China Seas. And this is certainly a conflict to avoid if China is the adversary in question, with Beijing boasting the largest navy on the planet. One of Nostradamus' predictions that shocked the world was related to the British royal family. It is known that there will be a king who will ascend the throne to succeed Charles, but it wasn't William, it was Harry. It's surprising, isn't it? You know, recent speculation has surfaced regarding a prediction made by a 16th century astrologer. Nostradamus suggesting a tumultuous future for Britain's King Charles in 2024 after his cancer diagnosis, which was discovered when he was undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate. Royal observers speculated that King Charles might step down, either voluntarily or due to pressure related to his health. The revelation of King Charles's cancer diagnosis has left many questions unanswered, with Buckingham Palace withholding details regarding the cancer type and stage. This lack of transparency has fueled both concern and speculation about the monarch's health and the potential implications for the British monarchy in his renown. Nostradamus seemingly forecasted the monarch's downfall, including potential abdication or forced removal. Nostradamus predicted the potential abdication of a king and the rise of an unexpected successor, which now seems to echo the current situation involving King Charles and Prince Harry. The ancient prophet said the King of the Isles would be driven out by force and would be replaced by one who will have no mark of a king before that. He accurately predicted Queen Elizabeth II's passing at around the age of 96, a prophecy that aligned with Buckingham Palace's announcement of King Charles III's diagnosis following his mother's demise in 2022. However, the question of how Prince Harry, who has shown little interest in royal duties, would end up as king remains unanswered. The royal family has faced its fair share of scandals in recent years. However, the one that garnered the most headlines and caused papers and tabloids across the world to go nuts was Prince Harry's exit from the royal family and the fallout thereafter. Despite his decision to pull back from his duties, many wonder if Prince Harry could still rule as king, as is his birthright. Otherwise known as birthright privilege, Prince Harry is fifth in line for the throne. In the instance of Charles's death, Prince William Charles's firstborn son is next in line for the throne if something were to happen to William Harry, still wouldn't be next in line, as that would be William's firstborn Prince George, then Princess Charlotte, and finally Prince Louis. If William were to abdicate, which is highly unlikely, and George was still under 18, then it's a different question. The role of regent means a person who governs a kingdom. In the minority, absence or disability of the sovereign would then perhaps go to Harry until George was old enough to take on his royal duties. Nostradamus predicting Harry would become his successor seems unlikely, but we will never know what will happen after. It actually happens. Continue with a prediction about a huge famine brought on by a wave of pestilence. First, we talk about the famine if we put Nostradamus's prophecy next to what the Bible teaches. You will see the coincidence that they both mention femina back to the past. Israel occupied the rocky highlands of Canaan, the area of present-day Jerusalem and the hills to the north of it, rather than fertile coastal plains even in the best of years. It took enormous effort to coax sufficient sustenance out of the ground. The rainy seasons were brief. Any precipitation less than normal could be devastating across the ancient Near East drought, and famine were feared in the 13th century BC. Nearly all of the Eastern Mediterranean civilizations collapsed because of a prolonged drought in the book of Deuteronomy. God proclaims that if Israel obeys the laws, the Lord will open for you his bounteous store, the heavens, to provide rain for your land in season disobedience. However, will have the opposite effect. The skies above your head shall be copper, and the earth under you iron. The Lord will make the rain of your land. Dust and sand shall drop on you from the sky until you are wiped out to ancient Israelites. There was no such thing as nature as we understand it today, and no such thing as a chance if things were good. It was because God was happy if things were going badly. It was because the deity was angry about a national catastrophe like famine. The sin had to lie either with the entire people or with the monarchs who represented them, and it was the task of prophets and oracles to determine. The divine wrath famine was perceived as both retribution and opportunity, a punishment for transgressions, yet a chance for repentance and transformation. For instance, in the annals of Solomon's wisdom, during the inauguration of the temple in Jerusalem, he beseeches God for forgiveness, envisioning a future where famine-stricken Israel might turn to the newly sanctified temple for mercy. Similarly, recounted in the book of Samuel, Israel endures a 3-year famine during the reign of David, its greatest king. When David seeks the cause, he learns of the sins of his predecessor Saul, turning famine into both a consequence of disobedience and a catalyst for a more faithful future. The waves of pestilence, often associated with Nostradamus's prophecies, are believed by many to foretell calamitous events, such as deadly earthquakes. Exploring these verses, we encounter the admonition not to be alarmed by wars and rumors thereof, as they are but the beginning of birth pains. The New Testament parallels this sentiment, suggesting that these trials signify the onset of the last days. Yet, Revelation depicts even more cataclysmic earthquakes during the tribulation, challenging the interpretation of ordinary seismic activity as a harbinger of the end. Nostradamus's predictions, couched in metaphorical and cryptic language, have inspired interpretations ranging from the specific to the vague. Some assert their accuracy, citing instances like the death of Henry II or the rise of Napoleon, while others attribute their perceived fulfillment to the inherent ambiguity of the prophecies. Nonetheless, the debate persists, fueled by the enigmatic nature of Nostradamus's writings and the tendency of historical events to align, however loosely, with his predictions. Venturing back nearly a century, visionary minds of 1924 dared to envisage the world of 2024. From David Wark Griffith's hopeful vision of cinema fostering global understanding to Leo Hendrik Baekeland's dire warnings of futuristic weaponry's potential to annihilate humanity, these forecasts spanned a spectrum of optimism and apprehension. British politician Kingsley Wood anticipated significant advances in longevity, envisioning a future where living to 100 would be commonplace, and 75-year-olds deemed comparatively youthful. Meanwhile, Joseph Paul Day foresaw radical transformations in urban life, with dirigibles and airplanes revolutionizing daily commutes and bridging the gap between city centers and suburbs. In the realm of technology, Archibald Montgomery Lowe speculated on wireless communications potential, presaging capabilities akin to modern-day internet transactions and criminal identification systems. Similarly, Frank L. Ferraro envisioned a societal shift towards gender equality, anticipating women in positions of power and authority, even leading armies into battle. From the architectural foresight of Ben Boren, foreseeing multi-tiered roadways and subterranean freight systems, to the cultural predictions of Rufus Bernhard von Klein-Smid, describing a physically and spiritually vibrant girl of tomorrow, these prophetic voices collectively reflect the hopes, fears, and aspirations of their time. As we reflect on these past visions of the future, we are reminded of the inherent uncertainty in prognostication. While some forecasts may align with reality, others veer wide of the mark, serving as testament to the complexity of human progress and the unpredictable course of history. In the end, whether we find ourselves amidst the fulfillment of prophecy or in the midst of unforeseen developments, the passage of time remains the ultimate arbiter of truth. The prophecy regarding the death of a young leader who catalyzes the downfall of an old empire raises questions about its potential significance in current events, particularly in light of recent political upheavals. Moreover, Baba Vanga's warnings of political turmoil extend to the highest echelons of power, with predictions of dangers facing Russian President Vladimir Putin and potential trials in Europe. These forecasts underscore the volatility of global geopolitics and the precarious nature of leadership in the modern world. Amidst these political uncertainties, Baba Vanga also foresaw the looming threat of catastrophic consequences stemming from climate change, underscoring the urgent need for collective action to address environmental challenges. On the horizon of medical advancements, hope shines bright with the prospect of a cure for cancer, offering solace to millions grappling with this devastating disease. Additionally, the emergence of quantum computing promises a revolution in technology, ushering in a new era of innovation and progress. In parallel to Baba Vanga's predictions, the prophecies of Nostradamus for 2024 also paint a vivid picture of the future. Foreseeing Putin's leadership facing challenges in the year of the dragon and China's ascent to unprecedented prominence, Nostradamus' insights offer a complementary perspective on the unfolding events of the world. Baba Vanga's cryptic prophecies for 2024 delve into a realm of intrigue and uncertainty, offering glimpses into a future marked by scientific marvels and global transformations. Among these predictions, the concept of undisclosed printing of organs emerges as a tantalizing possibility, envisioning a world where 3D printers churn out organs alongside the morning newspaper, revolutionizing organ transplantation as we know it. Furthermore, the rise of artificial intelligence takes center stage, with Nostradamus foretelling a future where AI transcends its current capabilities to become integral to everyday life, from diagnosing diseases to brewing the perfect cup of coffee. This technological revolution promises both innovation and disruption, reshaping industries and societal norms alike. Another enigmatic prophecy revolves around a charismatic young leader rising in Western Europe, wielding narrative power akin to Shakespeare and influencing geopolitical landscapes. The ambiguity surrounding this prediction invites speculation about the individual's impact on the world stage and the direction of European politics. However, amidst the anticipation of scientific breakthroughs and technological advancements, Baba Vanga's warnings about impending natural disasters and political upheavals serve as sobering reminders of the fragility of human existence and the unpredictability of the future. From the prospect of messages from space to the ominous echoes of past tragedies, her prophecies offer a tapestry of possibilities that both captivate and unsettle the human imagination. As we navigate the complexities of the present and peer into the uncertain terrain of the future, the prophecies of Baba Vanga serve as a catalyst for contemplation and introspection. They prompt us to question our assumptions, reevaluate our priorities, and ponder the implications of our collective actions on the course of history. In the face of looming challenges and unforeseen possibilities, Baba Vanga's prophecies offer both cautionary tales and beacons of hope. They remind us of the profound interconnectedness of humanity and the natural world, urging us to tread carefully and cultivate a deeper sense of empathy and compassion for one another. At the heart of Baba Vanga's prophecies lies a profound truth. The future is not set in stone, but shaped by the choices we make in the present. While her predictions may tantalize and intrigue, they ultimately serve as a reminder of our agency and responsibility in shaping the world we inhabit. As we journey forward into the unknown, let us draw inspiration from the wisdom of the past, the insights of the present, and the possibilities of the future. And let us approach the mysteries of the future with humility, curiosity, and a sense of wonder, embracing the journey with open hearts and minds. In the end, whether Baba Vanga's prophecies come to fruition or fade into obscurity, their enduring legacy lies in the profound questions they provoke, in the profound truths they reveal about the human condition and the nature of existence itself. As we come to the end of this exploration into the prophecies of Baba Vanga and the enigmatic visions of Nostradamus, we are left with a tapestry of possibilities, a mosaic of potential futures that both intrigue and unsettle us. From the promise of scientific breakthroughs to the specter of global upheaval, these prophetic glimpses into the future offer a window into the complexities of the human experience and the ever-evolving landscape of our world. Yet, amidst the uncertainty and ambiguity, there is a profound truth that emerges. The future is not predetermined, but shaped by the collective actions and choices of individuals and societies. Each decision we make, each path we choose to follow, has the power to influence the course of history and shape the destiny of generations to come. In the face of daunting challenges and daunting uncertainties, it is easy to feel overwhelmed or disheartened. But let us not forget that within each challenge lies an opportunity for growth, for resilience, and for transformation. Let us harness the power of our collective imagination and creativity to forge a future that is just, equitable, and sustainable for all. As we bid farewell to the mysteries of prophecy and the allure of the unknown, let us carry with us a sense of wonder, a spirit of inquiry, and a commitment to shaping a future that reflects the best of humanity's aspirations and ideals. And let us remember that, ultimately, the greatest prophecy of all lies within ourselves, the capacity to dream, to envision, and to create a world of beauty, possibility, and hope. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery. May the wisdom of the ages guide us, the light of knowledge illuminate our path, and the spirit of curiosity inspire us to continue seeking truth, understanding, and meaning in our ever-unfolding journey through time and space.
Music, often viewed as a universal language of emotion, may soon transcend its traditional role as entertainment. Advances in neural research and sound technology are uncovering the profound effects of specific frequencies on brain function. This emerging field suggests that music could be used as a tool for enhancing productivity, relaxation, or even emotional states. Once again, The Simpsons appears to have envisioned this possibility. The show has portrayed futuristic scenarios where music manipulates mood and cognition, showcasing a world where playlists might choose your mood rather than the other way around. As we approach 2025, the idea of music-driven mind control no longer seems far-fetched, reflecting a fascinating yet unnerving convergence of technology and human psychology. Perhaps one of the most unexpected intersections between popular media and complex scientific theories comes in the form of Homer Simpson's obsession with donuts. This seemingly trivial quirk of the character has unexpectedly been linked to theoretical physics, particularly the concept of a donut-shaped universe. In one episode, Homer's love for donuts takes him on a bizarre journey that includes an encounter with the renowned theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking. Known for his groundbreaking work on black holes and the universe, Hawking made a guest appearance on the show, engaging in a playful exchange with the underachieving patriarch. While the show's light-hearted portrayal of cosmology might seem absurd, it has drawn attention to real scientific debates about the shape and structure of the universe. The idea of a toroidal or donut-shaped universe has been entertained by some cosmologists as a theoretical possibility, giving Homer's humorous musings an unexpected layer of credibility. The Simpsons has long been a cultural phenomenon, not only for its humor, but also for its eerie ability to forecast future trends and events. Whether it's technological advancements, societal shifts, or even global crises, the show has repeatedly demonstrated an uncanny knack for being ahead of its time. While many of these predictions can be attributed to coincidence or the show's satirical take on existing trends, others provoke deeper thought about the trajectory of human civilization. The show's portrayal of the metaverse, digital art, mind control through music, and even theoretical physics serves as a reminder of how fiction often mirrors reality. As the boundaries between the real and the imagined blur, The Simpsons challenges us to reflect on the implications of a rapidly changing world. From geopolitical tensions to technological revolutions, the series encapsulates the complexities of our time, offering both humor and a surprising degree of prescience. In a world fraught with uncertainty, the interplay between popular media, technology, and global events becomes ever more compelling. Whether it's the forewarning of an Antichrist figure rising amid global chaos, or the prediction of transformative technological trends, these narratives capture the imagination and stir deep reflection. As humanity navigates this period of upheaval, these stories, both fictional and prophetic, serve as a lens through which we examine our past, present, and potential future. The journey ahead is as uncertain as it is fascinating, and as The Simpsons has shown us time and again, the most outlandish ideas may hold kernels of truth. The geopolitical tension surrounding Gaza, coupled with numerous armed skirmishes across the globe, has left much of the international community on edge. Many observers are drawing parallels between today's political landscape and the precarious environment that preceded global conflicts in the past. Western media outlets are emphasizing the role of fractured alliances, economic instability, and disputes over territorial sovereignty as potential catalysts for a larger-scale conflict. Even if a global war does not immediately materialize, the current state of chaos signals a return to a multipolar world where powerful nations compete for dominance, often through military means. This turbulent era has fueled speculation about the emergence of a charismatic leader who could shape global events in unforeseen ways. History and religious prophecy intertwine in such discussions, particularly as many believe this figure could fit the biblical description of the Antichrist. According to some interpretations, this leader would captivate the masses with charm and promises, only to reveal their true motives once firmly entrenched in power. In this narrative, the Antichrist would lead a campaign of unprecedented global conflict, forcing those with wavering faith to choose sides. Such dramatic scenarios contribute to the sense of foreboding surrounding current international developments. Meanwhile, technological advancements continue to reshape the future in ways that were once considered science fiction. The concept of the Metaverse, a virtual reality-driven world of interconnected digital spaces, has gained significant attention. Spearheaded by figures like Mark Zuckerberg and the rebranded Meta, formerly Facebook, the Metaverse aims to revolutionize how people interact, work, and socialize. Intriguingly, fans of The Simpsons claim the show predicted this concept over a decade ago. In the 2011 episode Holidays of Future Past, Lisa Simpson navigates the Ultranet, a digital realm that mirrors today's virtual reality aspirations. As society ventures deeper into the metaverse, traditional notions of reality, art, and social interaction are being redefined. One area undergoing a dramatic transformation is the art world. As virtual spaces gain prominence, traditional galleries are evolving into immersive digital showcases for non-fungible tokens, NFTs. This new form of digital art ownership has sparked debates about the value and authenticity of creations that exist entirely online. The Simpsons, once again ahead of its time, humorously hinted at such shifts, imagining a future where art transcends physical boundaries and inhabits the limitless expanse of the internet. The rise of NFTs and AI-generated art challenges the very definition of creativity and value, ushering in a new era of artistic expression. In addition to art, the influence of technology extends to more personal realms, such as mental health and productivity. Advances in neural research have revealed how certain sound frequencies can impact brain function, influencing emotions and cognitive states. The concept of music mind control, where music is used as a tool for mood regulation and enhanced focus, aligns with The Simpsons' uncanny predictions. As the boundaries between entertainment and neuroscience blur, the future of music may involve personalized soundscapes designed to optimize mental states. Even the cosmos hasn't escaped The Simpsons' imaginative grasp. The show has humorously dabbled in complex scientific theories, including a peculiar connection to Homer Simpson's favorite food, donuts. In one episode, Homer interacts with the late theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, touching on the notion of a donut-shaped universe. While the scene was intended as a joke, some cosmologists have explored similar ideas about the universe's topology. This playful intersection of humor and science exemplifies the show's ability to weave profound concepts into its narrative, often with surprising relevance. Ultimately, The Simpsons' unique blend of satire and foresight continues to captivate audiences. From geopolitics to technological innovation and even theoretical physics, the show's predictions provoke thought and invite reflection on the ever-evolving world around us. Whether these forecasts are coincidental or the result of astute social commentary, they serve as a reminder of the complex interplay between human imagination and reality.
It claims Nostradamus predicted Queen Elizabeth would die in 2022.
Tonight we begin with the wake-up call from the United Nations on what they call the unequivocal impact humans are having on our planet. Their once-in-a-decade climate report is out today, and with it comes a warning.
One of the world's leading prophets, Nostradamus, is widely known for predicting a series of important historical events. In the past, he was correct when he predicted Hitler's rise to power, Elizabeth's death, or the pandemic that took the lives of many people in the 16th century. His predictions were recognized by many people. One scary thing is that he wrote a lot of predictions for this year. 2024 is considered a year when many worrying things will happen. They can reshape our world. Experts also agree with Nostradamus' point of view and say that these things are very likely to happen. So what has been predicted, and can it come true? Watch the video until the end as we reveal these horrifying truths about the year 2024.
We are Jesus' eternal aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video.
The death of Pope Francis. In 1555, he wrote these prophecies that could lead to a global conflict. According to Nostradamus, the death of Pope Francis at the age of 87 is something that will happen. Maybe you don't know, the Pope has had quite a few health problems, forcing him to skip the United Nations conference because of severe pneumonia and some other respiratory problems. So was it the cause of the Pope's death? We can't come to that conclusion yet, but we will know in a short period of time. What's terrifying is that his successor will be a Roman. This person will weaken people's faith, but will still be Pope for a long time, it seems. The exact meaning of the word weakening in Nostradamus' prophecy is still highly debated. It can have two meanings. The idea of being married to each other is quite a weakening effect on the church and people's faith, and it can reduce the impact of any major scandal on the religious community. It is difficult to understand exactly what he wrote in his prophecy. His style is confusing and full of metaphors from which we can understand the 4 verses in many different ways. So we cannot confirm that these things will happen exactly. But you can see the current situation. Maybe we have understood this prophecy correctly. King Charles's battle with cancer. The next prediction takes us to the internal affairs of the British royal family. In a shocking revelation, Buckingham Palace disclosed that King Charles, venerable monarch of Britain, faces a formidable adversary, cancer. The 75-year-old sovereign, in the throes of this battle, must temporarily retreat from his public duties to undergo treatment. Yet his resolve remains unyielding, yearning to resume his obligations as swiftly as possible. However, amidst this turmoil, whispers of prophecy resurface, hearkening back to the enigmatic verses penned by Nostradamus centuries ago. Could these prophetic murmurs foretell a tumultuous fate for the British monarchy? According to interpretations of his 1555 text, Le Prophecies, Nostradamus ominously predicts a royal upheaval, hinting at the possibility of abdication by King Charles. In his place, a surprising successor emerges. Prince Harry, once relegated to the role of spare heir, now thrust into the limelight as the unexpected heir to the throne. But the intrigue does not end there. The mysterious disappearance of the Princess of Wales, coupled with the prolonged absence of Kate Middleton, fuels a storm of speculation and conspiracy theories. While official statements attribute Kate's seclusion to a planned surgery and subsequent recovery, rumors swirl unabated. Some suggest she languishes in an induced coma, shielded from prying eyes by a veil of secrecy woven by the royal household. Amidst the chaos, a controversial incident emerges: the manipulation of a family photograph shared by the Princess of Wales. Dubbed Kate-spiracy by social media, this incident ignites further scrutiny into the actions of the royal family, casting doubt upon the authenticity of their public image. Yet, amidst the whispers and conjecture, one cannot overlook the eerie accuracy of Nostradamus' past prediction. His prophecy regarding Queen Elizabeth II's demise, foretelling her passing at the age of 96, sends shivers down the spine. As the late monarch's death aligns with the prophesied age, one cannot help but ponder the veracity of Nostradamus' insights. In conclusion, while these predictions may seem far-fetched, history has shown us the unexpected can unfold in the realm of royalty. As we navigate through this labyrinth of intrigue and speculation, one thing remains certain: the enigmatic legacy of Nostradamus continues to captivate our imaginations, leaving us to wonder what the future holds for the British monarchy. World War III. The French sage Nostradamus once peered into the mists of time and foretold of a new world war, a chilling prophecy that echoes through the annals of history. As we stand 79 years removed from the end of the Second World War, the stage seems set for a confrontation that could engulf the world in flames. The focal point of this gathering storm lies in the shifting tides of power surrounding China, whose ascent as a global powerhouse has set the geopolitical chessboard ablaze. From the contested waters of the South China Sea to the simmering tensions over Taiwan, China's assertive displays of strength raise the specter of a cataclysmic clash with NATO forces. Analysts warn of a powder keg primed for ignition, where a single spark could unleash a violent conflagration of unprecedented scale. Nostradamus' cryptic verses offer further fuel for speculation, speaking of combat and naval battles that leave the great ocean trembling in fear. Could these prophecies portend the rise of a red adversary, whose actions mirror those of China in our modern era? The echoes of past conflicts, from Ukraine to the Taiwan Strait, only serve to deepen the sense of foreboding that grips the world. Yet, amidst the clamor of war drums, we must tread carefully through the maze of prophecy and interpretation. While seismic shifts in geopolitics may herald the approach of the end times, they do not serve as the definitive harbingers of apocalypses. The Apostle Paul's warnings of deception and moral decay remind us that the road to perdition is paved with false prophets and misguided interpretations. Indeed, the specter of the Antichrist looms large in the collective consciousness, his shadow cast across the pages of history like a dark omen. Nostradamus spoke of three such figures: Napoleon, Hitler, and now the harbinger of the apocalypse yet to come. Speculation runs rampant as to the identity of this malevolent force, with names ranging from political leaders to royalty thrown into the crucible of conjecture. But let us not be swayed by the whispers of fear and uncertainty. For amidst the gathering storm, a beacon of hope shines bright, a promise of righteousness prevailing in the face of darkness. The words of Christ himself foretell of wars and rumors of wars, yet they also offer assurance of a final victory over evil. As we navigate the turbulent waters of prophecy and geopolitics, let us hold fast to the truth that lies within our grasp. For in the twilight of human history, it is not the machinations of empires or the rise of tyrants that shall determine our fate, but the enduring light of faith and righteousness that guides our path forward. The threat from nature. As we stand on the precipice of uncertainty, another augury from the annals of Nostradamus beckons our attention, a grim foretelling of the advancing specter of climate change. In the year 2024, the shadows of disruption loom large, heralding a future fraught with tempestuous storms and soaring temperatures. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's sobering assessment casts a dire forecast, with a 1/3 chance that 2024 will surpass its predecessor in heat and a staggering 99% likelihood that it will rank among the top 5 hottest years on record. The fingerprints of human-induced climate change, coupled with the emergence of the El Niño climate pattern, weave a tapestry of upheaval, unleashing a maelstrom of extreme weather phenomena across the globe. From the snow-laden landscapes of North America to the fiery eruptions of Icelandic volcanoes, The harbingers of climate change manifest in myriad forms. Nostradamus' prophetic gaze pierces through the veil of time, foretelling of parched earth and deluge alike, a world gripped by the cruel embrace of famine and flood. But amidst the tumult of nature's wrath, another ominous portent looms on the horizon, a seismic upheaval that shall claim thousands of lives in its wake. While the precise location remains veiled in ambiguity, recent events in Morocco serve as a chilling reminder of the Earth's unforgiving power, echoing the warnings of the French sage. Yet, as we grapple with the specter of impending catastrophe, let us not overlook the words of wisdom imparted by ancient scriptures. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus provides us with vital signposts for navigating the tumultuous waters of the end times. False prophets shall rise, wielding deception like a sword, while the drums of war beat ever louder on the horizon. Famine, plague, and earthquakes shall stalk the land, heralding the birth pains of a world in turmoil. In conclusion, as we confront the gathering storm of climate change and prophecy, let us heed the lessons of the past and the warnings of the present. For in the crucible of adversity lies the opportunity for redemption, where the resilience of the human spirit may yet triumph over the forces of chaos and despair. As we stand at the crossroads of prophecy and reality, the convergence of Nostradamus' foresight and biblical scripture compels us to confront the sobering reality of our times. The signs are unmistakable, the warnings clear, yet amidst the chaos, there lies the potential for enlightenment and renewal. In the echo chamber of history, the reverberations of false messiahs and the clamor of nations at war serve as harbingers of a world in tumult. The specter of famine and plague stalks the land, casting a pall of uncertainty over the future of humanity. And as earthquakes rend the earth asunder, we are reminded of the fragility of our existence in the face of nature's wrath. But in the midst of despair, there exists a glimmer of hope, a beacon of light amidst the encroaching darkness. For in the teachings of Christ and the wisdom of prophecy, we find solace and guidance, a roadmap for navigating the treacherous waters of the end times. As we gaze into the abyss of uncertainty, let us not succumb to fear or despair, but rather, let us embrace the challenges that lie ahead with courage and resolve. For in the crucible of adversity we shall discover the strength of the human spirit and the enduring power of faith and resilience. In closing, let us heed the lessons of the past and the warnings of the present as we chart a course towards a future filled with hope and possibility. For in the words of Nostradamus and the scriptures alike, we find the keys to unlocking the mysteries of our times and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The threat from nature. As we stand on the precipice of uncertainty, another augury from the annals of Nostradamus beckons our attention, a grim foretelling of the advancing specter of climate change. In the year 2024, the shadows of disruption loom large, heralding a future fraught with tempestuous storms and soaring temperatures. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's sobering assessment casts a dire forecast, with a 1/3 chance that 2024 will surpass its predecessor in heat and a staggering 99% likelihood that it will rank among the top 5 hottest years on record. The fingerprints of human-induced climate change, coupled with the emergence of the El Niño climate pattern, weave a tapestry of upheaval, unleashing a maelstrom of extreme weather phenomena across the globe. From the snow-laden landscapes of North America to the fiery eruptions of Icelandic volcanoes, the harbingers of climate change manifest in myriad forms. Nostradamus' prophetic gaze pierces through the veil of time, foretelling of parched earth and deluge alike, a world gripped by the cruel embrace of famine and flood. But amidst the tumult of nature's wrath, another ominous portent looms on the horizon, a seismic upheaval that shall claim thousands of lives in its wake. While the precise location remains veiled in ambiguity, recent events in Morocco serve as a chilling reminder of the Earth's unforgiving power, echoing the warnings of the French sage. Yet, as we grapple with the specter of impending catastrophe, let us not overlook the words of wisdom imparted by ancient scriptures. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus provides us with vital signposts for navigating the tumultuous waters of the end times. False prophets shall rise, wielding deception like a sword, while the drums of war beat ever louder on the horizon. Famine, plague, and earthquakes shall stalk the land, heralding the birth pains of a world in turmoil. In conclusion, as we confront the gathering storm of climate change and prophecy, let us heed the lessons of the past and the warnings of the present. For in the crucible of adversity lies the opportunity for redemption, where the resilience of the human spirit may yet triumph over the forces of chaos and despair. As we stand at the crossroads of prophecy and reality, the convergence of Nostradamus' foresight and biblical scripture compels us to confront the sobering reality of our times. The signs are unmistakable, the warnings clear, yet amidst the chaos, there lies the potential for enlightenment and renewal. In the echo chamber of history, the reverberations of false messiahs and the clamor of nations at war serve as harbingers of a world in tumult. The specter of famine and plague stalks the land, casting a pall of uncertainty over the future of humanity. And as earthquakes rend the earth asunder, we are reminded of the fragility of our existence in the face of nature's wrath. But in the midst of despair, there exists a glimmer of hope, a beacon of light amidst the encroaching darkness. For in the teachings of Christ and the wisdom of prophecy, we find solace and guidance, a roadmap for navigating the treacherous waters of the end times. As we gaze into the abyss of uncertainty, let us not succumb to fear or despair, but rather, let us embrace the challenges that lie ahead with courage and resolve. For in the crucible of adversity we shall discover the strength of the human spirit and the enduring power of faith and resilience. In closing, let us heed the lessons of the past and the warnings of the present as we chart a course towards a future filled with hope and possibility. For in the words of Nostradamus and the scriptures alike, we find the keys to unlocking the mysteries of our times and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Baba Vanga. Baba Vanga, often hailed as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, stands as a towering figure in the realm of prophetic visions. Despite losing her eyesight in a tragic storm during her youth, Vanga emerged from the tempest imbued with the extraordinary ability to peer into the future with astonishing accuracy, garnering a reputation for prophetic prowess that continues to captivate the imagination of many. With an astounding accuracy rate of 85%, Vanga's predictions have left an indelible mark on the pages of history. From foreseeing the Chernobyl tragedy in 1986 to the untimely demise of Princess Diana in 1997, and from the harrowing events of the 9/11 terrorist attacks in 2001 to the seismic shift of Brexit and the departure of the United Kingdom from the European Union in 2020, her prescient insights have transcended time and space. Despite her passing in 1996 at the age of 84, Vanga's prophecies continue to reverberate into the present day. Her predictions for the year 2024 have once again captured the attention of the world, foretelling a major crisis looming over the global economy, fueled by escalating debt levels, geopolitical tensions, and the shifting tides of economic power from west to east. Furthermore, Vanga's prophetic gaze has pierced through the veil of the natural world, foreseeing an onslaught of devastating weather phenomena and natural disasters, exacerbated by potential shifts in the Earth's orbit that could precipitate climate change and heighten radiation levels, a dire warning of the perils that await if left unchecked. In the realm of cybersecurity, Vanga's vision portends a dark future, marred by a surge in cyber attacks targeting critical infrastructure, posing a grave threat to national security. However, amidst the shadows of uncertainty, glimmers of hope emerge on the horizon as Vanga prophesies breakthroughs in medical science, heralding new treatments for incurable diseases like Alzheimer's, and even the long-awaited cure for cancer by the year 2024. Moreover, the blind prophetess foresaw a quantum leap in the field of quantum computing, a technological revolution poised to reshape the very fabric of our existence. With the potential to outstrip traditional computers in speed and capability, quantum computing holds the promise of unlocking untold realms of knowledge and innovation, propelling humanity into a future where the boundaries between reality and imagination blur. As we stand on the precipice of tomorrow, the echoes of Vanga's prophetic visions serve as both a warning and a beacon of hope, urging us to navigate the turbulent currents of fate with wisdom, foresight, and a steadfast resolve to shape a brighter tomorrow. As we conclude this exploration into the realms of prophecy and foresight, the enigmatic visions of figures like Nostradamus and Baba Vanga leave us with a profound sense of wonder and contemplation. Across the ages, their words have echoed through the corridors of time, offering glimpses into the mysteries of the future and challenging us to confront the uncertainties that lie ahead. Whether we choose to embrace their prophecies with unwavering belief or regard them with skeptical scrutiny, one thing remains certain: the human quest to unravel the secrets of tomorrow endures. In the face of adversity and upheaval, it is our resilience, ingenuity, and capacity for hope that will ultimately guide us through the darkest of times. As we stand on the threshold of a new era, let us heed the lessons of the past, draw inspiration from the visions of seers and prophets, and forge ahead with courage and determination. For in the tapestry of human destiny, each of us plays a vital role in shaping the course of history. May we navigate the winds of change with wisdom and grace, and may the light of knowledge illuminate our path as we journey onward into the unknown. And as we bid farewell to the mysteries of prophecy, let us embrace the future with open hearts and minds, ready to embrace whatever destiny may unfold. Until we meet again, may the wisdom of the ages be our guide, and may hope be our constant companion on the journey ahead. Farewell, and may the echoes of prophecy inspire us to reach ever higher, dream ever bigger, and dare to imagine a world filled with boundless possibilities.
The Danube River, one of the most significant rivers in Europe, flows through much of Central and Southeastern Europe, starting from the Black Forest in Germany and making its way to the Black Sea. Along its journey, it either flows through or borders several countries, including Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. Many of these countries were occupied by Germany during World War II. If Nostradamus's reference to Easter indeed pertains to the Danube, as some interpret, his quatrain might be seen as a prediction of the extensive conflict that would engulf the region. This is not the only instance where Nostradamus is thought to have predicted events related to World War II. One of the most notorious moments in American history is the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. On November 22, 1963, President Kennedy and his wife Jacqueline rode through the streets of Dallas, Texas, in the back seat of an open-top limousine. As their car crossed Dealey Plaza, a shot rang out, and the president slumped over in the back seat. Lee Harvey Oswald was subsequently identified as Kennedy's assassin, but the incident sparked numerous conspiracy theories. Some theories suggest Oswald did not act alone, or even that the U.S. government conspired to kill the president. These conspiracy theories sometimes reference one of Nostradamus's predictions, which states, "The ancient task will be completed. From on high, evil will fall on the great man. A dead innocent will be accused of the deed. The guilty one will remain in the mist." Some interpret this to mean that Oswald, who was murdered by nightclub owner Jack Ruby before he could stand trial, was the dead innocent, and that the real guilty party escaped justice. Oswald himself claimed he was a patsy, and because he never went to trial, it remains uncertain whether he acted alone or if he was even the true assassin. Even 60 years later, Kennedy's assassination remains shrouded in mystery and controversy, with many questions left unanswered. Perhaps Nostradamus did foresee this tragic event and the enduring enigma surrounding it. King Henry II of France, a staunch Roman Catholic known for his persecution of Protestants, met a gruesome fate that some believe was foretold by Nostradamus. Henry II would participate in a jousting match against Gabriel de Lorge, the Count of Montgomery. Although de Lorge unseated Henry in their first pass, the king, unwilling to concede defeat, challenged him again. During the second charge, de Lorge's lance splintered upon striking Henry's helmet, with fragments piercing the king's eye and brain. Henry endured 10 days of excruciating pain before succumbing to his injuries. Nostradamus supposedly predicted this event with the lines, "The young lion will overcome the older one. On the field of combat in a single battle, he will pierce his eyes through a golden cage. 2 wounds made one, then he dies a cruel death." Critics argue that field of combat might not apply to a friendly jousting match, and there is debate over whether the men's shields bore lion emblems. Nonetheless, the golden cage can be seen as a reference to the king's helmet, and the description of the wounds is eerily accurate. Louis Pasteur, born in 1822, is often hailed as the father of microbiology for his groundbreaking work in the field. He discovered the process of pasteurization, which removes harmful bacteria from foods like milk and wine, making them safe for consumption. Pasteur also discovered that microorganisms cause fermentation, challenging the prevailing belief that fermentation occurred spontaneously. His work paved the way for vaccines, including those for rabies and anthrax. Pasteur's first rabies inoculation saved a young boy named Joseph Meister, who had been bitten by a rabid dog. Pasteur is also one of the few individuals mentioned by name in Nostradamus's prophecies. The lost thing is discovered, hidden for many centuries. Pasteur will be celebrated almost as a godlike figure. This is when the moon completes her great cycle, but by other rumors, he shall be dishonored. The final line is significant, as in 1995, Gerald Geisen's book, The Private Science of Louis Pasteur, revealed that Pasteur had incorporated the findings of a rival into his anthrax vaccine research, thereby tainting his legacy. The Great Fire of London in 1666 began on September 2nd in Thomas Farriner's bakery on Pudding Lane. Fires were not uncommon in London at the time, but this fire was particularly devastating. When the Lord Mayor of London, Sir Thomas Bloodworth, was informed of the fire, he famously dismissed it, saying, "Pish, a woman might piss it out." However, London had been enduring a prolonged dry period, and the city's wooden buildings provided ample fuel for the flames. The fire raged for 3 days, destroying large swaths of the city. Some believe that Nostradamus predicted this calamity as well, though the specific quatrain is often debated among scholars and enthusiasts. Nostradamus's prophecies have fascinated people for centuries, with many interpreting his quatrains as predictions of significant historical events. While skeptics argue that his verses are too vague and open to interpretation, believers maintain that Nostradamus had an uncanny ability to foresee the future. Whether or not one subscribes to the idea of prophetic insight, the stories linked to his quatrains continue to intrigue and inspire debate.
The Simpsons apparently predicted Donald Trump's presidential victory back in 2000.
And how about The Simpsons? How would The Simpsons keep
predicting
calling it
everything?
They predicted the Apple Vision Pro.
We are looking into yet another claim about The Simpsons predicting a big news event.
We're looking into a picture going around online this month. It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events.
A popular TV show predicted this would happen. The term, The Simpsons did it first, has proven the animated series correctly.